52-yarder. Myers from the left hash mark. Chris Stoll does the snapping. Michael Dixon puts it down. Jason Myers, the kick is on the way. And the kick is up. And the kick is good. And the Seahawks win the game.
Seahawks beat the Cardinals in a wild Thursday night finish last night. We're going to talk about the three things sticking with us after this one. Former Seahawk and current analyst Brian Walters in for Michael Bumpus today. Hey, B-Walt.
How about it? Get to talk about this big win again. It could have been bad. I'll tell you what. It was looking that way. Fourth quarter, you're like, oh no, it's going to be a long show tomorrow.
Yeah.
Now seeing a long post-game show.
You're getting ready.
It's always so nice when they can pull those out, though.
You know, I'm glad you say that because our first takeaway here is that it's both good and bad news that this could have been a Seahawks blowout.
Yes.
You know, so let's talk about some of the plays that you might want back here. How close was this, Brian, to being a game where the Seahawks are up by 2 scores?
It was there. It was in their hands. It was everything was in front of them that way. I mean, you talk about, well, let's just start with the interception, the Kobe Bryant interception, force a turnover, and then go and just friendly fire, give it right back to them. Just a little negative play for them. Cardinals, no harm done, a free first down, essentially. So that's a crazy fluke play that you wouldn't expect. That one, if you can go score off that one, you're putting the game out of reach early again, just like you did against the Saints. The Saints, it was like play after play. It was already 21-0 before you could blink, and that would have been kind of a similar thing in the first half. It would have been a similar momentum thing because they would have been up. It would have been 21-3 at the end of the half,
which would be a crazy repeat.
Exactly.
Week 3.
So, and then there's a couple little things. One, the holding call on JSN.
Yeah. Did you think that was a bad call? JSN, hot mic moment that's not safe for air. Really upset about that one. Didn't
funny.
Like that call.
You know what I did love? I love seeing JSN's emotion. I don't feel like we see that a lot.
We don't.
And he was kind of animated last night, and it's something we haven't seen out of him, and that's I like it.
I wonder if it's because he knows he's top dog.
Yeah,
he's
probably.
Like,
a little
I
extra
was second in
confidence
yards
there.
entering this game in the league.
That's probably it.
They all call him Pretty Boy. He's the on the leaderboard for my Diva Watch list. He and Michael Bumpus.
Oh boy, Diva Watch list. That's right. I think I called in on a Diva day once, and I said, "I'm sorry if I'm a Diva wide receiver."
You
were on wide receivers about divas.
Well, because I had 2 of 3 people on the list are wide receivers.
Okay.
So.
Well, JSN probably didn't do a lot to help his case for you.
But a couple moments
night.
Like that, where it's like that could have been a Zach Charbonnet touchdown, and then you're up even further.
And I think it's because he just, it really. If you have a penalty that takes points off the board, I mean, that's tough on you. It is. And especially like that. So I don't think the cameras did it justice. Like whatever they were showing, they didn't really show a good angle of that replay. You couldn't see if his hand was actually wrapped around him. To me, it looked like he just got ran over. And when you get ran over, the guy falls on top of you, they're usually going to call hold because it kind of looks like you're pulling him down with you. But I don't think it was. I don't think JSN would have been that upset if he knew he didn't just pull him down. He's like, hey, I kind of got ran over. Like, you can't call penalty on me when he just comes and hits me like that. So I get that. I don't think that was a good call. I'm gonna lean more toward JSN side on that one. That play, that takes points off the board again. And then the taunting call. That's
the one that was top of my list because that turns a 3rd and 3 into 3rd and 18 and takes you out of field goal range. I'm chalking that up to like that was 3 points directly off the board.
These refs are kind of getting a little bit soft when it comes to taunting calls.
I hate taunting calls.
Yeah, it's like give a warning. I mean, maybe they were given little warnings, but say, hey, I'm gonna start flagging you if you keep.
He couldn't have been given a warning. It was so early.
It was so early. So, did you see the one last week that they threw on Puka Nacua? He kind of got up, flags pointed to the scoreboard or something.
Oh, come on. That was taunting?
And it's taunting. Yeah, they're calling taunting for everything now.
Ridiculous.
I don't know what – some of the fun in a professional sport is being able to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Kind of celebrate, maybe talk a little trash.
Yeah.
And
step over someone, whatever it is.
Come on, hockey, you're allowed to fight, all that stuff. I mean, football has just gone too far.
I completely agree.
So, that was – he did throw the ball at him.
It's not, look, it's...
Forgot about that part about it for a second.
It's not great, but he was clearly upset because the defender was like pulling on his leg, pulling on his foot. Should Ken Walker have done it? Absolutely not. Coaching staff clearly not happy with it. You saw his position coach talking to him, give him a talking to, didn't go in the game for a little while. So the Seahawks staff clearly felt like, what are you doing? But taunting in general.
Yeah, but again, it goes back to where I just want a warning. Hey, don't do that again. Don't throw the ball like that again. Because he did get pulled backwards. I'd be upset too if a guy was pulling my leg when I'm on the ground already.
Yeah.
And so I totally get it. But going back to, we talk about how this could have been even more lopsided in the first half.
That's a good spin on it.
That took them out of field goal range.
Yeah.
That took 3 points off the board at least, if not more. If they get a first, I can't remember what down the distance it was when he had that play, but that puts you into 3rd and long, I believe. Now it's coming back to me, and you can't do anything with that. Can't do anything with 3rd and long. So it's just tough because then we look at the score and again we're nitpicking. We're saying, oh, it could have, wishes, could have, would have, should have. It would have been 24-3.5.
Right. And again, like I felt like that was a good way to start this conversation, our first takeaway, because you can read it either way. If, like you said, if this would have been a loss, we would have been coming in here talking about how the Seahawks lost because they did it to themselves. They put themselves behind. Now it ends up being a win that just shouldn't have been that close, but it's also kind of good news that things are coming together enough for you to be in a position to take some pretty dominant leads. Let's move on to the second point here, talking about Sam Darnold and play calling.
Charbonnet in the backfield. Darnold looking, just going to throw for the corner of the end zone. He's got a man. Touchdown, Seahawks. It's A.J. Barner, the tight end, just literally ran away from Akeem Davis Gaither, the linebacker, to the far side of the end zone. And as Sam Darnold has done so often this season already, an absolutely perfect throw, 16 yards. The Seahawks are on the board.
Now, coming up in about 20 minutes, we're going to talk about why you think this was Sam Darnold's best game of the season, and I agree with you. So we're staying away from maybe Sam Darnold specifically for this, and instead just talking about how the offense was rolling, maybe 1 or 2 things that you liked from him. And I know you and Curtis disagree about some conservative play calling
we blows
here.
in the sports.
Here we
You know
go.
what? Why
I
don't we
had
just
B1
jump-
after a good
Why
start,
don't we
Curtis.
just jump to that? Curtis, tell me what it is you didn't like about play calling, because I know that actually both Brian and I were completely happy with this offense.
I thought the second to last drive, when the Seahawks had an opportunity to kick to go up 23-13, I thought they were playing a little scared. I thought they were playing a little too conservative there. I think if you have an opportunity to ice the game, essentially, if you pick up that first down, I get it was 4th and 7, which is not it's not an easy yardage to pick up, but where you were in the field, I think they were kicking from the 37-yard line or so. If you pick up that first down, it's essentially game over after that, because Arizona's got to burn their timeouts. You can run the clock down a lot more. You can even go for a touchdown. Like it's over at that point, or at least get it closer to where Myers has an easier shot of making it, because it was 53 yards he missed on. I didn't like them kicking in that situation. I thought going for it could have put you in an even better spot and could have essentially eliminated any chance of a Cardinals comeback.
Brian, there was some critiques that play calling was a little too conservative. Did you feel that way?
I didn't. And before I fire back, Curtis, are we having this conversation? Are we having this conversation if Jason makes that field goal?
I still would have been kind of like, I wish you could have got a little bit more. But you're up 2 scores at that point. It ends the game there. But I feel like they could have helped him out a little bit more instead of kicking it from 53.
Curtis, can I just tell you, I think there's another place that helps make your point, which is 4th and 2 when they did make a field goal instead of going for it. Because I think that's one that I saw people complaining about too. It was a made field goal, but I think people thought, why not go up 21-3 instead of
17-3.
Yeah.
So
it felt like they kind of left points out on the field last night.
Okay. All right. So here I go. Was the deep ball, the 36-yarder to JSN conservative on that exact same drive that led him into field goal range?
Was not. That was pretty impressive.
So that's one play that I thought was very aggressive and awesome, fantastic. Took a shot, did it. And now you have an identity in your team. Kubiak wants this identity. You're in 4-minute territory. You're trying to run the clock out, and you're trying to possess the ball to the very end of the game at this point, and get yourself in a good spot. If you start throwing the ball again when you're already in field goal range, you're risking a sack. You're risking taking points off the board, getting yourself out of field goal range. And 2, you're going away from your entire identity of this team, which is run the ball. And that's what they did all game. That's what Kubiak has been so good at all season, is sticking to the run, even if it hasn't necessarily been working. It's kind of just been the identity, and it's been setting up so many things. So I don't mind what they did. And nowadays, a 53-yard field goal, and I'm sure all kickers kind of cringe hearing this, but it's almost considered, it's a must make. Like, you don't expect them to miss this anymore. Kickers are so good. So when you're in that position, you don't want to get yourself out of field goal range. So now it's a 1-possession game and you're punting it back. You trust your kicker. And 2, you go with your identity. You say, hey, our guys up front and our running back, we're going to run and get this first down. It didn't work out that way. But you also, how many times last year did we critique the Seahawks for pushing themselves back out of field goal range and not getting points on the board.
Fair.
Points are important. And I think that's a situation they avoided. And we're not talking about this if he makes the field goal.
I will let you know listeners are divided, Curtis. There are people absolutely on the side of play calling being a little too conservative. And Brian, there are people saying this isn't Madden. So you guys are like 50-50 with supporters on the text line. This is a close one. Let's move to our last point, which is maybe the brightest spot. Again, we're going to talk about Sam Darnold coming up in 15 minutes. Before we get to that, though, Brian, this defense looks amazing. I know that they did not continue that streak of holding opponents to 17 games or fewer, but they held them to 20. And importantly, they were dominant through essentially the Cardinals had 1-2 solid drives the entire game, like objectively good drives. The rest of it, they were completely shut down.
The last 2 drives of the game, the last 2 touchdown drives, and I know that's not how you want to finish as a defense. That's not ideal at all. But when you look at their total yards, 253 total yards for the Cardinals. They had 110 of those on the last 2 drives.
Crazy.
So up the 3 quarters was absolute perfection, absolute dominance by the defense. You forced a couple turnovers, courtesy of a drop by Marvin Harrison Jr. We'll take that all day, I guess. But at the same time, you just completely shut Kyler Murray and this offense down for 3 straight quarters. I mean, and what happened at the end? Well, guess what? Kyler Murray is a good player. He's gonna figure it out. He's gonna make some plays on you. Marvin Harrison Jr., well, he kind of figured it out too. He's a good player. There's a reason why he was the 4th overall pick or something 2 years ago. And the guys kind of made plays. They stepped up and made plays when it mattered most. And you can't fault the Seahawks for that. I wouldn't. At least Devin Witherspoon. Yeah, I know he's getting picked on a little bit for a couple catches he allowed, but he's in fantastic position.
Let's talk about that. I want to talk about that play in particular, in part because when you mentioned Marvin Harrison Jr. getting that first target and then dropping it and like, oh, what a tough look, and then it bounces, an interception bounces into Ernest Jones' hands. Great awareness by Ernest Jones there, who was making a beeline for the play before that happened. I texted Curtis and Bump during the game when that happened, and I said, guys, I kind of feel bad for Marvin Harrison Jr. because in week 3 he had a couple drops. He was being heavily critiqued, and in the locker room looked very emotional and you could see it. Like when he got his touchdown, he looked like overcome with emotion because there's been a ton of criticism to him, to Kyler Murray, to the offense as a whole. And then when he beat Witherspoon one-on-one, I texted Curtis and Bump again and said, I don't feel bad anymore. So I'm glad you mentioned it. I want to talk about what happened there. What did you see? And then what did you make of the cornerback play as a whole? Because I think of what was a really good day for the defense, I thought that seemed to be the group that maybe got the most criticism.
Yeah. First, I don't want to make this a Marvin Harrison Jr.
Apology tour?
Yeah, apology, sympathy tour, whatever it is. But
I'm already doing it.
He has had a rough stretch. He's been dropping ball after ball for Kyler Murray. And honestly, the fact that Kyler Murray kept going back to him, that shows a lot, in my opinion. I mean, for a quarterback to have that much trust in your receiver and keep going back to him after all those drops, after the really 2 interceptions that were his fault, the one where he stopped the route, I haven't really seen the all 22 of it to see if it was really a catchable ball if he keeps that route. But anyway, that's just the fact that he kept going to him is incredible. And then Devin Witherspoon on both. I'll go back to the first touchdown drive the Cardinals had, that back shoulder play where he that kind of set up I can't remember what touchdown it was. No, maybe it was the last touchdown of the game. He threw a back shoulder to Marvin Harrison Jr. Perfect execution. Devin Witherspoon's in perfect spot, but Kyler Murray just makes a better throw, and Marvin Harrison makes a better catch.
And he has 4 or 5 inches of height on Devin?
There's a common theme right now with the Seahawks defense. A lot of these touchdowns are to big body guys. DK got one. The Steelers' big tight end got one. And it's like they're just kind of boxing out, posting up these smaller DBs.
Yeah.
And so that's something to look at. And Witherspoon, again, Marvin Harrison jump up, makes a touchdown on him. But he's in good spot. He's in good position. The DBs, I know Woolen had a tough game, a couple big penalties, couple pass interference. But all in all, I wouldn't be too upset with how the DBs have played over the past few weeks. And we didn't even see Darian Kendrick in that game, really.
Yeah, he didn't get an interception in this one.
Didn't get an interception.
Slumping.
Where is he at? What's going on? What's wrong with him?
Darian, hello. We've come to expect interceptions every game. What are you doing, buddy? It's a Football Friday powered by the Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, read all about it.
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news with Bump and Stacy.
Headline number 1, the Mariners have clinched a first-round bye in the postseason. They will start the division series at home on Saturday, October 4th. What's the real headline?
Imagine having to play in the wild card round. It couldn't be my
Gross.
team. I don't know what that feels like. That's crazy. There's not a banner hanging at T-Mobile, that's for sure. I don't know that feeling as a number 2 seed.
Yeah, that stadium. Oh, I can't not wait to see that stadium rocking.
Insane.
Oh, it's
We
gonna
get
be
2
so
home games
fun.
guaranteed
2
this
home
time.
games, and by the way, on the 5th, it's also going to be a home Seahawks game. So there's going to be an early Seahawks game, 68,000 people out there at CenturyLink, and then
46,000, 47,000 at
Seattle's going to
T-Mobile.
be, if you don't love sports, stay out.
Is,
It's
Go
going to be
home.
go home.
is there something wrong
Party
with me?
isn't for you.
When I hear that, all I think about is traffic.
No,
Look,
I think you're just in your 30s.
Yeah, it's called
all
being an
cool,
adult.
Perfect. Just
Yeah.
want to make sure.
Yeah.
Why did that initially go to my? I said, oh no, I'm gonna have to leave an hour early.
Yeah.
For the
Do you
pregame
also
show.
notice people's yards and
sprinkler systems
Yeah.
and
I
green
think-
grass?
do you
yeah.
like just what do you like a lot of hands on hips when you're kind of looking at things? Maybe like take your time going through a Home Depot looking at wrenches.
I do take a lot of time at Home Depot.
I think this is just the time in your life when you're like now you're thinking of like, oh God, 90's going to be awful.
Oh man.
520, don't even think about it.
But I like that this is going to be one of the most joyous days because it's also the Seahawks 50th anniversary celebration.
It's gonna be
that
so
day.
fun.
It's going to be a lot of fun, and here we are, we're like, the traffic is just going to be a nightmare.
I know, but here's what
going
we need to be. First of all, it's going to be a long day for all of us because either one of us are going to be at one of these stadiums, one of these parks. We just need to pack snacks. And I'm sure that there are tens of thousands of people probably listening right now, all of them, that are going to be just going straight from Seahawks to Mariners. And it's going to be nothing but chaos.
You know what's cool about that? That means there's going to be a lot of throwback Seahawk jerseys in T-Mobile Park for the Mariners game.
Oh my God, I saw someone
gonna be good.
post a picture of an Earl Thomas jersey, and they had like covered it up and wrote Raleigh so that they could
Number
like bounce,
29.
so they
Love
could bounce
this.
back and forth between. I was like, that's pretty impressive. That's a good use of resources.
That Seahawks game is going to be extra pretty because not only will the Seahawks be in their throwbacks, the Bucks are going to wear their throwbacks too.
Are they
'Cause
the
they're
creamsicles?
Yeah, because they're also
I love-
celebrating their 50th
all white?
anniversary.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I love their creamsicle
It's
jerseys.
pretty. It'll be nice.
Hey,
good-looking
by
game.
the way, speaking of the Bucks, I'm a little nervous about the fact that the Bucks have been comeback kids for 3 games. They have won each of their 3 games, 3-0, in the final minute or less of regulation, including a touchdown with 9 seconds left and a field goal with 3 seconds left.
You know what? Have the Bucks beat somebody before I'm worried about them. That's the thing. When you look at those 3 games, who have they played? They've played absolutely nobody.
Yeah, I'm
They've played
Atlanta,
yes, the Jets and
Texans.
the Texans.
Yeah. Okay, fair.
And they're coming
Fair.
back to have to beat those teams. So this is the real test. This is how I'll judge to see how good
I bet
the
that's how they're
Buccaneers
thinking
are.
of it. They're
It's
like, you
10
guys
a.m.
nervous about Seattle?
10 a.m. against the Eagles Sunday. That's what I'll be watching with
there
the
you
Bucks.
go.
So that'll be a good test.
What's next?
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 2, big one at Husky Stadium tomorrow. The 3-0 Huskies host number 1 Ohio State on Saturday to open up Big Ten play. What's the real headline?
And I will say with confidence that the Seattle win streak will continue.
Oh, wow.
Will
You think so?
continue. Yes.
You feel confident in that?
Oh, so I'm confident.
Sounds like it.
I'm pretty confident. Not meant to sound as a question. No, I will bet $1. I will bet $1.
Wow.
Maybe even 2. That my dogs
Bow down, as they say.
will send the Buckeyes straight back. Ooh, I don't feel good about this one, Brian. I don't feel good about this one.
Here's the real. Are you a sailgater? You ever done that?
No, I don't own a boat.
Yeah. No. I
Stacey,
got invited.
have you gone to a game after graduation?
Yes, not a lot though. I'm a horrible UW grad.
I got invited to Sailgate for the first time.
What?
I don't think
How
I'm gonna
was
do
it?
it though. No, I haven't for this game for tomorrow.
Wait, stop.
You're going to turn it down?
I think it goes back
if
to the
I
whole
had
traffic thing on
an
game
opportunity
day.
to tailgate, I'd go do it. Now you're
I'm
even
in
more
my-
in traffic because you're like,
There's less traffic. It's on water.
we're going max 20 miles an hour.
I know.
here.
Now I'm talking like bump in my 40s, huh?
Well, what if it's going to be like amazing? Like
That's
Matt
true.
Curtis
But it's like
losing it
Seafair.
back
You go on the
there.
water in Seafair, it just sounds chaotic to me.
I did not like Seafair. I only went on the water one time ever, and I was like, why do people do this? This is awful. I'm
But are
trapped.
you glad you did it?
You're trapped for hours and hours and hours. No, I'm not. I want that
Yeah,
whole
see,
day
that's
back.
the fear I have too. So I don't think I'm going to do it.
But sailgating might be a little different because Seafair is pure chaos.
Yeah.
tailgating, there's some exit. You can get out of that pool of.
That's true. It's going to be nuts. It's going to be wild. That stadium's going to be rocking. And
Buckeyes fans
it's a good thing they got
insane.
past the Apple Cup. Okay.
Okay,
Good
can
for
I
us.
ask you sincerely what you think is going to happen? Is this going to be a blowout, or can my Huskies keep it close
Well,
as they can?
I think they're going to keep it close-ish.
You sound like
what's
me
the line right
predicting a
now?
win.
7.5. I think it was 7.5 last time I saw.
Yeah,
I'm surprised
it's
it's
pretty
not more.
close.
Which is-
I believe
yeah.
it's the closest line of an unranked team against number one in like 30 years. So you got that going for you.
Yeah.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yes,
Let's get.
I'm going to tell you that with confidence. Yes, Stacy, they'll keep it close.
Thank you. Let's get to our next one.
Headline rewrites.
Headline 3, Micah Parsons will make his return to Dallas as a member of the Packers for the very first time on Sunday. What's the real headline?
You know, this whole situation seemed avoidable, Brian. This is going to be tough for Dallas. Doesn't have CeeDee Lamb anymore. Their offense was kind of what was keeping them going here. Now they don't even have that.
Oh, that if he gets a sack, he gets that first sack, a big sack. Let's say he gets a strip sack.
Ooh.
Oh, it's gonna be a tough watch for Jerry Jones.
Hey, what
up
did you
there in
think
that response.
of Jerry Jones in his press conference after trading Micah Parsons, insinuating that Micah was part of their problems against the run?
Honestly,
Kind of
I
agree?
think it's no. I don't agree. I can't. Here's the issue with that. I have never watched Micah Parsons' run stopping ability. He's just so it's his pass rushing obviously that makes him so good. So maybe he's onto something there. I don't know. Maybe, but I don't think that a defensive end is really the issues with stopping the run. I think you got to look into the interior a little bit more.
I will let you know that all of our listeners think you should absolutely go sailgating.
Okay,
They're
that's
telling
good to
you
know.
you need to go.
All right.
Sam Darnold only threw a single touchdown in this one, but Thursday night was his best game of the season. We'll tell you why next on your home for the Mariners playoff run, Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
It's been 24 years since
The 2001 Western Division champions.
Mariners Nation, you've earned this banner.
There's no better feeling than this. You know, we work so hard each day.
With a first-round bye in the bag, what's ahead for the AL West champion Mariners in the postseason?
It's a lot of great things ahead. I can feel it.
SeattleSports.com has the latest on the scenarios.
We're not done yet. We got a World Series to go get.
This is where you hear your AL West champion Mariners in the playoffs. Seattle Sports.
Wait for the weather to get warm like it is now on consecutive days. That means I can break the motorcycle out, ride to work, ride all over the place, and I love it more than just about anything. But I also know that it's not a matter of if, but when you get in an accident, what are you going to do? Well, I'll tell you, when you're injured in a motorcycle crash, don't settle for firms that say they're motorcycle lawyers. Trust the ones who live it. Law Tigers has been a part of the writing community for nearly 25 years nationwide. They're here 24/7, 365 days a year because writers deserve real support when they need it. Law Tigers is the resource writers can turn to when they are in need. Law Tigers is out at all the events and supporting all clubs and shops. The Law Tigers are always by your side. Your case evaluation is always free. There are no fees until your case settles. The Law Tigers, you never ride alone. Law Tigers, Washington's motorcycle lawyers. Jimmy Cook, 539 Broadway, Unit 104, Tacoma, Washington, 98402.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-275-1728. That's 800-275-1728.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
and get ready for the workday.
What was that?
That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very...
Calm, I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Go from daydreamer to industry leader with Amazon Business. From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
Get rid of stubborn fat and address areas of loose skin with ProSculpt, the simple one-day permanent fat reduction and skin tightening treatment. Book your free consultation at prosculpt.com.
This is my life. This is my family's life. The people that work here, they're my family. When something's not right with them, it's not right with us.
We get notifications every time we get a review. And I said, how do you not let it eat you up? Sometimes I feel so responsible. And his answer was, I just look at it as an opportunity. We need that feedback to learn and to do better. I'm grateful for the feedback.
Big part of sales is the relationship aspect. People want to do business with someone they can trust, who's a real person. They don't feel like you're just going after their money. And when you take the time to get to know them, get to know their needs, not be a car salesman, but be a consultant, then they feel more comfortable with you, and just the experience is better on both sides.
It's not about closing deals. It's about opening relationships, helping people make the right choice. The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home for you so you attract the right buyers. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
All right, well, if you were not watching a single Seahawks game this season, Brian Walters, and for Michael Bumpus today, I think that you'd look at Sam Darnold's stats and you'd go, okay, well, last year he had 11 touchdowns through the first 4 games of the season. The, oh my God, could Sam Darnold be good conversation started relatively early in Minnesota. If you were looking at just Pro Football Reference this year for Seattle, you'd see 5 touchdowns through 4 weeks. You'd see 2 interceptions in week 2. You'd see a single touchdown on a Thursday night win against the Cardinals, which was a field goal win, and you go, I'm not impressed. However, Brian, you have been watching each and every one of these games, as have most people listening, and you thought Thursday night was maybe Sam's best game of the season. Why?
I think it was absolutely one of his best games of the season, and just the progression that he's shown so far, and how he's getting more receivers involved. I think we go back to week 1, and week one was a kind of an anomaly. It was a little bit of a fluke, I'd say. JSN, 13 targets, only ran 2 play action plays.
It was weird.
It was very, very strange. It wasn't
not the offense we expected.
It wasn't at all what we expected. Maybe that was the flow of the game for Kubiak. I don't know what that was, but it's not setting Sam Darnold up for success. And so let's throw week 1 out. Then you go week 2, week 3, week 4. These last 3 games. Man, the play action. It's all about the play action with Sam Darnold. And one thing you have to respect is Kubiak sticking to the run game. Everyone's been on him. Everyone's talked about where's this run game at? Where's this run game at? And I'm saying, hey, chill out for a second. You have to keep running the ball, even if it's only getting you 2 yards, 3 yards, 1 yard. to set up these play actions. Sam Darnold doesn't have the success he's having if Kubiak is not sticking to the run game, because then the play action doesn't have the same effect either. So, and teams have to focus on the run. So Sam Darnold, I think some of his one thing that surprised me a lot is the last 2 weeks how he's used his legs and made some big plays.
I was hoping you would say the 24-yard scramble, which I was watching the Amazon, what's like the bird's eye view one that they have? What's it called? Prime Vision? I don't know. I wish every broadcast had that. But the run looked especially great on that too, because you just see every move he's making. I was so impressed with that scramble.
Yes, it was so good. And if it all opens up, take it. And he's got some athleticism. He can run a little bit. And that was one of the things, talking to a couple coaches in Minnesota when we signed Sam Darnold, said, what is it about Sam Darnold? Like, should we be excited about this? He goes, yes. Like, he's a great leader. Everyone loves him. He can make all the throws, and he's athletic. That's what they say. And it's okay, all right, we'll see. And then last week when he spun out of the sack, and maybe it was a Steeler, I don't remember which. They're all starting to blend together. It's at that point now already. 4 weeks in, they blend together. When he spun out of the missed sack and then flipped it to A.J. Barner for a big gain. But it's plays like that are impressing me with Sam Darnold, how he's extending some plays, because I didn't know that he had that in him. And then the run yesterday, even how about the throwing on the run? That's another thing that's really impressing me. The opening touchdown of last week's game against the Saints to JSN. He's rolling to his left. Somehow he is so good at rolling to his left. I don't know if you've noticed that over and over again, but he puts the ball on the button, on the numbers. So he's rolling to his left, and he threads that crossing route, rolling to his left to JSN, right on the numbers, and just the perfect pass, throws it right in the perfect little area. He had a little window to hit, and he hit it. So the accuracy that he's been thrown with. 2 plays yesterday that don't go into the stat book that impressed me. The deep ball to Torrey Horton. He threw that thing perfect.
Was that the drop?
I don't think it was it's a tough play. It was kind of a good defensive play, but he put it where only his guy could get it, and he had a chance to get it. And I mean, it was a brilliant throw. Just launched it, give your guy a chance, hit him in the chest. The guy made a good play, but that right there, I was like, wow, that is an incredible throw. Then you go, in the one drive they had with the big run, he hit Elijah Arroyo for the big play, scrambled to his right, throwing it on the run. Then he uses his legs, runs for 24 yards, and then the next play, he puts this perfect ball to Elijah Arroyo in the front left of that end zone, and Elijah draws the pass interference. But when you watch that pass, there's no better. If you could nitpick and move it a foot right, foot left, foot up, foot down, you wouldn't touch it. You'd be like, that was the absolute perfect spot for that ball to give him a chance, draw the pass interference. So it's his accuracy that is impressing me the most, and his accuracy throwing on the run, his accuracy rolling out on these play actions, the way he's found JSN on a lot of these deep balls now. He's made JSN the most explosive receiver in the game so far with all his 35-plus yard receptions so far this year. I believe he leads the league in those, because he had 3 in a row with over 40, and then yesterday was a 36-yarder. And he's just setting his receivers up for success. So it's been really impressive watching him run this offense. And again, he's not asked to throw the ball 40 times a game like you asked of Geno Smith last year. He's not. And if he can have another 14 for 18 game like he did against the Saints, you take that all day. Just efficient and getting the job done.
I'm glad you mentioned those explosive pass plays. Shil Kapadia of The Ringer tweets, through 4 games, 21% of the Seahawks pass plays have produced an explosive completion. That's the highest rate in the NFL. He said, based on EPA per pass play and success rate, Sam Darnold's actually performing better with the Seahawks than he did last year with the Vikings, which, look, it's early in the season, but more explosive pass plays for Sam so far, which is wild in an offense without Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. Joel Klatt was talking about trying not to go overboard with the Sam Darnold hype early, but also finding himself wondering, hey, did Sam Darnold actually find a great fit?
Now, I don't want to get totally overboard, because, again, we talked about this last week. We saw for 16 weeks Sam play incredible football a year ago. And then, in crunch time late, he reverted back to a guy that put the ball in harm's way. So it's still, for me, kind of a wait and see. But if they continue to play that way around him, and he doesn't have to be the best player on the field, I think that's right where he needs to sit. And he did a masterful job. Now, New Orleans has lost 9 in a row, or at least Spencer Rattler is 0-9 as a starting quarterback. So this is one of those, just grain of salt that when.
Obviously, that was ahead of week 4, but I felt like a week 4 just made Sam's case even more. Again, I'm also trying to hit pause on getting too hype about Sam Darnold, especially he's not putting up gaudy numbers. But again, if you're doing what you are and you're watching these individual plays, you're kind of finding that he's been a pleasant surprise, right?
100%. And I think what Joel Klatt just said there was perfect. He's not asked to be the best player out there. And that's what Sam Darnold's job coming in was to find his best players. Just get that ball out. He's getting the ball out quick and get it to your playmakers. Sam Darnold's not asked to be Superman. You're not asking him to throw for 400 yards a game. You're not asking him to make the crazy plays. You're just asking him to trust the offense, trust that what you're doing is going to set up for these easier plays to make. And you saw it with, I'm going to go with the play action to Torrey Horton, the touchdown, Torrey Horton's first touchdown of his career. Wide open, all set up because of the play action, the run, crossers. And it makes it easy, and he's finding those easy passes, and he's giving it to his playmakers. And that is all you have to ask of him, and that's all that we expected of him coming in. And then you go to the explosive plays, and you said it's like, wow, without Justin Jefferson,
right?
Who, huh? Like, who's Justin Jefferson when you got JSN?
No, that stat blew me away. And granted, it's a percentage of the pass plays, so when you're not passing it the most in the league, the percentage of pass plays isn't diluted by a bunch of incompletions or shorter passes. The offense itself leans on establishing the run, maybe finding some downfield targets. There's all kinds of context. But that's shocking, especially when we thought it would be the JSN show.
No, I mean, I think it is absolutely shocking. It's just, it's fun. It's fun to see him and JSN right now on the same page. And it's fun to see all the doubt that everyone had going in, who's going to be the explosive receiver, and Sam Darnold going, well, hey, it's JSN. Trust me. I'm going to throw this up, and I trust that he's going to bring it down. And he's done it game after game after game. And I'm going to go on a JSN tangent here, I guess, but why not? What has been one of the most impressive things with JSN, and I'll add Sam Darnold, the connection is the clutch plays late in these games. So you go to this 49ers game week 1. Well, on that last drive when they were going in for that field goal or the touchdown to try to go ahead and win this game, who comes up with the big play? It's JSN on the left sideline. Sam Darnold found him, puts him in that position to get the ball down the field. Pittsburgh game. To go up 2 scores on that drive, you're up 1, you need a big drive to go punch it in. Who comes up with the big 40-yarder? JSN, Sam Darnold. Boom. Saints game we'll forget about. That was an anomaly. That was special teams all day, every day. Didn't need clutch.
Those early stats were very weird. Offensively, you were like, wait, 3 touchdowns and like 9 yards.
Absolutely wild. And then yesterday, JSN, who puts you in field goal range to win the game?
Right.
And it's JSN, Sam Darnold connection. So those two are on the same page, and not only on the same page early on, which it wasn't yesterday, but more importantly, they're on the same page late in the games when it really matters.
Brian Walters in for Michael Bumpus. I have a PSA for Yankees fans coming up next on your home for the Mariners playoff run, Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Watch live high school football. It's the Seattle Sports Game of the Week.
Going for it all. He's got a wide open man. 12 touchdown Spartans.
Week 4 pits the Skyline Spartans against the Bothell Cougars tonight at 7 p.m. live from Pop Key Stadium.
Pressure and he's taken down.
Watch the game exclusively on the Seattle Sports app, Seattle Sports on YouTube, and SeattleSports.com.
Comes up with a big INT.
See the full 2025 season schedule at SeattleSports.com/high school.
Hey, want to hear something great? Right now at Wendy's, you can get 2 of the #1 selling bacon cheeseburger in all fast food, the JBC, plus medium fries and a medium soft drink for just $8. Want to hear something else great? Double the burger means double the bacon. Now that's a game changer. 2 of the #1 bacon cheeseburgers with fries and a drink for just $8. Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Request $8 JBC meal deal to obtain discount. Individual items at regular price.
Let's go.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at VaxAssist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Have you tried the dining district at the Bellevue Collection? Grab lunch with friends, meet up for happy hour, and stay for dinner and beyond. You can sample international flavors and local favorites from talented chefs. Try a new cocktail on a rooftop bar or watch the game with friends and explore the lively nightlife scene. The dining district at the Bellevue Collection, where your taste adventure begins. Learn more at BellevueCollection.com/dining district.
You never get a second chance to make a first impression. Superior Linen Service will help your company with logoed apparel, uniforms, floor mats, linen, and more. Give us a call. We answer the phone. Superior Linen Service. It's what we do. Visit suplinen.com.
Open enrollment for Medicare is coming up. Are you ready? Herb Weisbaum, the consumer man here. Get organized early with a Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit from the Insurance Commissioner's Sheba program. Order your free copy today at insurance.wa.gov.
From whiplash to herniated discs, there are a few car accident injuries we've all heard of. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains that even the most common injuries differ from one another.
Pre-existing conditions, health history, beginning of treatment. There are hundreds of factors that make every person and every injury unique. While these variables aid medical treatment, the strongest case recoveries must also take them into account.
Could you explain a little bit more?
Our team at Pendergast Law is obsessed with turning over every stone to differentiate each case. This requires thorough investigation, diligent listening, and relentless research. We never pursue cases with a one-size-fits-all approach. We built our success by treating every injury and every case with the individualized attention our clients need and deserve.
Pendergast Law's individualized approach to even the most common injuries makes the difference in case outcomes. It's another reason why I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Seattle Sports has your chance to win 4 tickets to the Seahawks game Sunday, October 5th. Head to the Seattle Sports app, click the Win tab in the bottom right corner, and enter to win. You can enter once per day, so the more times you enter through the Seattle Sports app, the better your odds. Do it every day, September 23rd through September 29th. Details and rules at seattlesports.com/win. From the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
IRG Physical and Hand Therapy doesn't just treat injuries, they elevate athletes. From weekend warriors to elite competitors, IRG Sports Institute clinics are built for performance, blending top-tier physical therapy with advanced sports science and personalized training plans. Hey, Brock Hewitt here with Shannon O'Kelly, physical therapist and owner of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. Why? Why elevate athletes as well?
Because here at IRG, Brock, our motto is we want you to be your best self, your best physical self, your best mental self, and your best community self. At our new IRG Fremont Sports Institute, we're providing that type of care. We've got the latest equipment, the greatest techniques, the providers there that are excited to get you better, basically bigger, faster, stronger. Doesn't matter if you're a weekend warrior, a recreational athlete, an elite athlete, we will make you to be your best.
You'll work with specialists who understand the grind because they've been there. With access to cutting-edge equipment and recovery techniques, you won't just heal, you'll come back stronger. Visit irgpt.com, irgpt.com.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. Are they a reliable service? How will I know if something happens? Are they keeping everyone safe? At Bay Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bayalarm.com today to talk to a local security expert.
The ballpark is rocking like 2001. Let us clear up your allergies so you can enjoy more of each game. Hey, it's Dr. Ryan Stern of the Stern Sinus Center. Let us fix your ear, nose, and throat problems. Let's make your congestion, sinusitis, snoring, and allergies a non-issue. We can diagnose and treat everything from allergy testing and treatments to modern nasal breathing procedures to advanced balloon sinuplasty. Come and see us in Federal Way in Auburn or at sternsinus.com. That's sternsinus.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
I think there's some bad faith arguments being made for Aaron Judge to win MVP and being made against Cal Raleigh. Brian Walters, Seahawks analyst, former Seahawk, in for Michael Bumpus today. And Curtis, you're going to like this one, too. I was listening to this clip from WFAN in New York. Evan Roberts was making the case for Judge. And here's what I'll say. Evan, who's a great host, is by no means the only person doing this. And who am I to begrudge a New Yorker for standing up for Aaron Judge for MVP? I guarantee if Aaron Judge was wearing a Mariners jersey, we'd be screaming from the rooftops he should be MVP. If Judge was in pinstripes, they'd be doing the same. Or excuse me, if Raleigh was in pinstripes, they'd be doing the same for Cal. I think that what makes this AL MVP race so fascinating, Brian, is that you can make a very cool and very different case for either player. Trying to compare their stats equally, just parallel to each other, doesn't do a service to how incredible a hitter Judge is, nor how complete and impressive a player Cal is. Hitting 61 bombs as a catcher, not only we've never seen it before, we didn't see anything higher than 48 before. He's the 7th player ever to hit 60 or more. So to try to take away from that's just absolutely insane. Unfortunately, like I said, that's a little bit of what's happening in New York.
There is only 2 stadiums in the entire sport where Cal Raleigh would have benefited from playing in. That means what he's done in Seattle, hitting 60 home runs, obviously not all at home, he would have benefited more in only 2 other stadiums. And I'll name them for you if you care. One is Cincinnati, and the other is Sacramento. Okay. That's it. If Cal Raleigh played at Yankee Stadium, do you want to know what his expected home run total would be? This is awesome because it's crazy. 48. Interesting. Let's do Judge, though, because, hey, okay, that's great, Evan. Thanks for that information. If Aaron Judge played in, let me count it, 4, 7, 8, 10, 13, 15 other ballparks, Aaron Judge would hit more home runs. 15. So this statement that we make and we just repeat it because we've heard it and we felt it, it's not true. Aaron Judge would hit more home runs playing in 15 other ballparks, including Seattle. How about that? So everybody can take their narratives and they can shove it.
Is it a narrative? Look, Yankee Stadium is not a Little League park. I do think that's a narrative, and Aaron Judge is not solely benefiting from hitting in Yankee Stadium. Let's not pretend that T-Mobile, which suppresses offense more than any other park in baseball, which has been proven scientifically, and a great feature by Mike Petriello for MLB.com. Let's not pretend it's a launching pad that's somehow benefiting Cal Raleigh. This is the mistake, Brian, and just for everyone listening, and God knows there are no Aaron Judge fans listening right now, but I wish I could tell them this PSA. You can make an amazing and a very simple case for Aaron Judge as MVP that doesn't take away from the fact that Cal Raleigh is doing something we have never seen before. You could say something like this. Oh, hey, Aaron Judge is hitting over 330. He's got 50-plus home runs, and he has an OPS plus of 210 or better, which, 4 people have done ever. Or, excuse me, it's only been done 4 times. 3 of those times was by Babe Ruth. Oh, so he's putting up Babe Ruth-like stats. Wow, what a season. And look at that. You didn't say anything about a catcher hitting 60 bombs to take away from that. I think that Cal has an amazing case for MVP, and I'd vote for him if I had a vote, which I don't. I think what drives me crazy right now, Brian, and I'm curious what you think, is in order to prop up Judge and try to make the case for Judge, people are constantly moving this goalpost about what this season means for Raleigh. You don't have to take away from how great it is.
I think that's a really lazy argument for Judge that they just made. I think that's, I mean, that's like, and I'll always go back to football. That's like taking Tom Brady and saying, all right, let's say he was an MVP one year. Well, I don't know if he had these receivers on this team and he was on the last place team in the league, would he have still won MVP? Well, no, probably not. So let's give it to this guy instead. It's all hypothetical. It's so dumb, and I don't understand that. I don't understand. How do we know Cal wouldn't have hit that many home runs at Yankee Stadium? I mean, he can hit left-handed. It's a short porch and right. Where do they find this metric? Is there some crazy?
They're looking at expected home runs. Also important to mention, it's missing a lot of context, and I'm sure you can speak to this, Curtis. Aaron Judge is not playing every game at Yankee Stadium. Cal isn't playing every game at T-Mobile, so that also ignores the opponents and where they're getting their home runs. By the way, Cal is basically 50-50 with home runs on the road and at home. So it's just a way to say Aaron Judge does have, have more power, faster swing. He's hit some home runs further. Cal puts the ball in the air and pulls the ball more than any player in baseball. That's it's not even commendable is not the right word. That's hugely impressive and a big part of his story. So A home run's a home run, man.
Yeah.
It's the most valuable outcome in baseball.
It counts. It counts when it goes over the fence, no matter what ballpark you're playing in.
Right.
So it's crazy to me that someone would actually say something like that. But here's the thing. Baseball's not about hitting. All about hitting, I should say. Not all about hitting. A lot of it is. But the fact that Cal Raleigh has played more games than Aaron Judge as a catcher should be one of the biggest arguments. I mean, it's not about playing games, obviously, but like when you're comparing stats side by side, you're like, well, Aaron Judge is a DH. He's right fielder. And Cal Raleigh's a catcher, one of the toughest, strenuous positions in this game. And he's played 7 more games than Aaron Judge right now. That, to me, that's something that should have a lot of these voters looking at it saying, wow, that is impressive as a catcher and being one of the best catchers in the game.
I think the voters are looking at it. I don't know how many fans, especially ones that kind of want to take away from what Cal's doing, I don't think they understand what goes into being a catcher. I think that they think about it as, yeah, you're crouching behind the dish and catching balls. And even then, like they're using defensive metrics this year, comparing it to Cal's platinum glove season as opposed to a league average where he's still very much above league average. But also, being a catcher is so much more than the amount of times you've thrown out a runner going to second.
Yep.
It's so much more than just framing, where Cal, by the way, is well above average. It's about getting to the park before anywhere else.
Yep.
It's about managing a staff of pitchers. It's about going to a bunch of extra meetings, and it's about your own hitting coming second and other people's careers as pitchers coming first.
The catcher is essentially the middle linebacker of the defense.
Yes.
He's calling the shots. He's calling the pitches. He knows all the strategy. He's giving the signals. He's telling the outfielders where to go, all that stuff. But what's so special about Cal is, yes, that's what he's doing. He's the leader on defense, but he's also the quarterback on offense with this team.
Yes.
He's the leader on offense, putting up numbers you've never seen before.
Well said.
Unheard of numbers. So I think that's the big factor for me. And again, none of this is taken away from Aaron Judge's season. Aaron Judge is having an incredible season. To hit 330 in the Major League Baseball, like 300 is almost unheard of now. There's not many guys that do that.
Yeah.
And he's hitting 330. Impressive. We get it. It's amazing. Like you're the number 2 guy in MVP, and like that should be something to.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just an absurd argument.
Say something a little petty too. It's just like a final thought here. I feel like a lot of Mariners fans are like, now maybe I'm being biased, but I'm seeing a lot of Cal hate from Yankees fans upset about Aaron Judge, and most other people supporting Cal going, it's just such a great story. It's such a magical season. Like Yankee fans, you could pretend Cal doesn't exist and just make Aaron Judge's case if you want to, but don't take away from 60 home runs as a catcher. You sound dumb, and you sound like you don't know ball.
Yeah.
So take that, Evan Roberts. You do host a wonderful show on a great station. No actual hate intended, but I hate this argument.
If this was the offensive MVP, I'm probably going to give it to Aaron Judge. I'm not going to lie to you.
Obviously.
But if it's not, it's the MVP.
Yep.
So give it to Cal.
What better way to end your week than with a bunch of highlights? Let's figure out how this NFC West game was won next on your home for the Mariners playoff run, Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
The Mike Macdonald Show, the morning after every Seahawks game at 9:30 with Brock and Salk.
How good was Sam Darnold last night?
Oh, he was great. He's awesome, man. He's great. He just so poised, accurate, competes, tough. Great decisions. I mean, I think the cool thing right now that showed up last couple of games is he's ripped it when it's there, and when it's not, he's taking care of the ball. And that's big time because you live to fight another day, and he's awesome.
Get the podcast on the Seattle Sports app and seattlesports.com.
You gave years, maybe decades to your job. You showed up, worked hard, and planned for retirement. But now the company's changed, or maybe you've taken a buyout or been forced into early retirement. So what happens next? I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. And if you've built up a 401k or thrift savings plan, now is the time to ask, is that money really working for you? Many workplace retirement plans offer limited options and even less guidance. At Trajan Wealth, we help people just like you roll over their accounts into IRAs with more flexibility and personalized investment strategies built around your goals. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a personalized plan. We operate on veteran values, service, trust, and doing what's right. Your next chapter starts now. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-466-3300. That's 206-466-3300.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Dave Wyman here, and since I stopped playing football, we've been fortunate to live in the same house for over 20 years. That type of longevity is a good thing, except 20 years in the same house means a lot of things start to break. Most recently, it's our windows. Virtually every seal has broken, and that's why I reached out to Harley Exteriors. They're local, they're huge fans of our teams, and big listeners to the station. Better yet, they have the best product. Olympic Series windows offered exclusively through Harley Exteriors are manufactured in Washington, designed for Pacific Northwest homes and climate. That means cooler in the summer and warmer in the winter. To celebrate the start of football season, the guys at Harley Exteriors are offering no interest and no payments for an entire year. Also, buy one window and get the second one 40% off. And take another $200 off your entire project. Call 833-HARLEY. That's 833-HARLEY. Or go to harleyexteriors.com.
Do you need a new roof? Then visit 3treeroofing.com to get $500 off your roofing project by scheduling a free estimate. 3Tree Roofing's certified team builds a custom plan for your home using top-tier materials with industry-leading warranties. All of their install crews are factory certified to ensure that your roof can handle any weather Seattle can throw our way. Don't wait until leaks turn into expensive damage this rainy season. Visit 3treeroofing.com to schedule your free estimate today and secure your $500 discount. 3Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today. It's not just about better health, it's about a better life.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Ooh, that face. Quantum fiber internet loves that face.
That's Jamila.
Hey, Jamila.
She's thinking outside the box from inside the box.
Quantum fiber Wi-Fi keeps her meeting game strong. From the back door to the front lawn.
Rushing all of her video calls. Back to back to back video calls.
Quantum fiber internet blowing the soxies up all those people in all those boxes. Yay to you.
Switch today at quantumfiber.com. Additional pods may be needed to achieve Wi-Fi coverage in some locations. Limited availability. Service in select locations only.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Mom, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotion. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. Consequently, they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Dial pound 250 and say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners have clinched the number 2 seed in the American League and get a bye, and they did it before last night's game even started, thanks to a loss by the Guardians. Seattle won the game anyway, getting a sweep of the Rockies. Mariners have won 17 of 18, open their final series of the regular season tonight at T-Mobile against the Dodgers. A sold-out crowd for this one. You can catch the game on Seattle Sports.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
This is Bump and Stacy.
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
It's a Football Friday powered by the Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Former Seahawk current analyst Brian Walters in for Michael Bumpus today, and we are going over the plays of the game from the Seahawks 23-20 win over the Cardinals. So let's go here. We're starting with what was a really fun interception at first. Arizona ends up recovering it, but here's Kobe Bryant picking off Kyler Murray.
Shotgun snap. Steps up. Now he's going to scramble a couple of steps. Now he's going to throw. Intercepted. Ball is picked off coming near side. Kobe Bryant coming this way, and he's dropped just short of midfield. Now it looks like the ball may have come out before he hit the ground or not till after he hit the ground. Again, Kobe Bryant with a pick as that ball was just way off target by Kyler Murray. And they're going to say the Cardinals got it back. So for a brief couple of seconds, the Seahawks had possession on the Kobe Bryant pick, but then he gets tackled, coughs it up.
I'll say this, Brian, I'm still counting this as an interception and a win for me. On with G. Scott on the reset said Kobe Bryant would have an interception. However, I would have liked it to end with the Seahawks possessing the ball.
Well, it does count as an interception. That is in the stats. Kobe Bryant has an interception. Fortunately, it's just a fumble, but a little miscommunication on this play between Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison Jr. And Kobe Bryant does what he does best, plays center field, intercepts, and does everything right. And here's the interesting thing about this play is if Kobe Bryant's knee was just hit the ground when Tyrese Knight hit him, I believe they would have called him declared down because he did this quarterback slide and all that. But since Tyrese Knight just hit him right before he hit the ground, ball was live, fumble, and a huge, just unfortunate turn of events on an interception.
Now it's still a scoring drive for the Cardinals. The good news is it's just a 33-yard field goal. Good job by the defense there to hold them on 3rd and 9, make it a 4-3. Meanwhile, Seattle takes over at 4:37, and you end up ending that one with Darnold finding A.J. Barner for 16 yards.
Charbonnet in the backfield. Darnold looking, just going to throw for the corner of the end zone. He's got a man. Touchdown, Seahawks! It's A.J. Barner. The tight end just literally ran away from Akeem Davis Gaither, the linebacker, to the far side of the end zone. And as Sam Darnold has done so often this season already, an absolutely perfect throw, 16 yards. The Seahawks are on the board.
7 plays, 77 yards, 7 points. What'd you see?
Just add it to the collection of perfect passes from Sam Darnold in this game. And it is a cool little play design because it's a little wheel route from A.J. Barner, a little delayed wheel route. He's kind of being patient off the line of scrimmage, waiting for Cooper Kupp to clear. And Cooper Kupp his job is to take out the outside upfield shoulder of the guy guarding A.J. Barner to make him slip underneath. When that happens, when A.J. Barner does a little slow delay, right when that defender goes underneath, A.J. Barner takes off to the pylon, and Sam Darnold delivers a perfect strike.
How's Cooper Kupp's blocking been to you?
He takes pride in blocking.
Yeah.
It's not always pretty. It's never going to be when you're, a little receiver out there. But when you take pride in it and show that you want to do it, then it's about getting in the way sometimes.
Welcome back. Uchenna Nwosu got his first sack of the season. This one of Kyler Murray for a loss of 7.
2nd down and 7. Benson stays in the backfield. Shotgun snap. Murray wants to throw again. Looks, gets hit, goes down. Coming off the edge, it's Uchenna Nwosu. We were so happy to see him back, no more so than his coaches and teammates. All the work he had to do to get healthy, and he comes in for the first sack of the game on Kyler Murray.
Had to feel good for Uchenna.
What a fresh breath! What a breath of fresh air!
Really?
Seeing Uchenna get 2 sacks that game. This one was just he wins his one-on-one immediately. That's what you love to see. It's showing the ability to just beat the left tackle off the ball and swims underneath him. And Kyler Murray didn't have a chance. No time to scramble, nothing, because Uchenna was on him.
Well, Seahawks fans know that weird things can happen in Arizona. This time, though, the weirdness was in Seattle's favor. Ernest Jones with a bobbled interception.
Slots to both sides. Murray hits his back foot, throws inside. Harrison bobbles. Ball's picked off. Coming near side, it's Jones. He jumps over him, and he's still going. Midfield. And he is down in Arizona territory. And poor Marvin Harrison lets one bounce off his chest and into the arms of Ernest Jones, who makes the most of it, picks it off, And the Seahawks stop the Cardinals again. Seattle has the ball. Murray, his second interception tonight.
Steve Rabel sounded like me on that one. I felt so bad for Marvin Harrison. I don't know why. It not only because, like, oh, it would have been a conversion. He had drops last week. You could just tell that he's beating himself up.
Yeah, you stole the words right out from my mouth. I was going to say, Rabel felt the same way. Poor Marvin Harrison. How often do you hear a play-by-play say something like that?
This
Ernest
poor
Jones.
fourth overall pick. I just feel so bad for
exactly.
him.
But Ernest Jones just being in the right spot at the right time and continuing to be the leader of that defense.
Let's talk about Arroyo getting more involved this time. Darnold finds him for 32 yards.
Darnold drops back on first down. Now he's got to scramble out to the right side, looking for somebody who's going to throw over the top. Reaching up, making the catch. What a catch by the rookie. Elijah Arroyo makes the catch out across the 40-yard line. Darnold scrambling, throws, big reception down to the sideline.
How about getting Elijah more involved?
How about that? And here's what I like about this. Sam Darnold rolling to his right.
Mm-hmm.
You can see he's got a little room in front of him. He can choose to run this and pick up a big gain, or he notices the mismatch he has downfield. Josh Sweat covering Elijah Arroyo. You're going to take your pass catcher all day over the defensive lineman or defensive end and Josh Sweat, outside linebacker, and he does it. He gives him a chance, trusts it, throws it up, and another brilliant ball by Sam Darnold, and Elijah Arroyo makes a big play.
How'd Josh Sweat end up being the one? Was that like a break in coverage? What's that?
Just the way they were matching up. And again, I think it goes back to the run game. It goes back to the threat of the run game the Seahawks always have. You got to kind of keep a bigger personnel group in there, and that's what they did, and you create some mismatches.
You and I both love this from Sam Darnold, showing off his legs with a 24-yard scramble.
Darnold has time. He's got room to run, and he does. Midfield, 45-40, still running, slides down just outside the Arizona 30-yard line. Sam Darnold, who doesn't normally run, says, if you're going to double team guys and take everybody away, I'm going to run, and he does.
What'd Sam do so well here?
What did he do so well? Well, look, he's showing people he's got some wheels.
Yeah.
And I love that. He surveyed the field, and he said, this time, I will take this. I will take this yards. And every single yard he kept going, I'm like, he's going to slide. He's going to slide. He's going to slide. But so he just kept going. He kept weaving his way through the defense, and just a really good play. And again, we talk about Sam Darnold's arm, talk about how well he takes care of the ball, but we don't talk about his athleticism enough, and he's done it back-to-back weeks now, escaping sacks, using his legs to make something happen in this one, his longest scramble of the year.
Mike Macdonald, after the game, said this was maybe his favorite play of the year so far. Curious to know if it was one of yours.
Darnold under center. Charbonnet, handoff. He goes left side. He gets hit at the goal line. He gets pushed into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks! A great effort by Charbonnet with an assist from Charles Cross. Charbonnet was hit just on this side of the goal line, and he got a great push from Charles Cross into the end zone. The 1-yard touchdown run, and that makes it the 13-3 score that the Seahawks want. And now going to try to tack on the 14th point with Jason Myers in the PAT.
And they do. 14-3 lead right now. What'd you see?
I saw an offensive line, as in this one, it was Charles Cross, following the ball. And that's been a big point of emphasis this year for these guys is follow the ball and get as many yards as you can. Keep pushing them. We've seen it a few times now in games where you're having a barrage offensive lineman pushing the running back forward. And this one, Charbonnet looks like he was stopped short. And then there's, and you're like, oh no.
I know, it's
what
3rd and 1,
doing?
right?
Yeah. 3rd and 1, and then Charles Cross comes and gives him that final shove over the inline. Yeah, Coach Macdonald loved this play. That's what he talked about most in the press conference.
Curtis, if Charbonnet didn't get that one, Cross didn't carry him over, are you going for it on 4th and 1?
Absolutely.
Of
Yes,
course
I agree with you there, Curtis. We're on the same page. We're back.
We found common ground.
Yeah.
I want to know what you think about Josh Jobe this season, Brian.
2 tight ends winged on the right side on this first down. It's a flea flicker, comes back to Murray, and the Seahawks got in there so fast. Jobe was in there, Witherspoon was there, Murphy was there, everybody was there but you, Dave, to help make that tackle on a flea flicker that went absolutely no place.
Absolutely no place. That ends up being a 57-yard field goal for Arizona, 17-6 Seattle. That's in the middle of the drive to make it 2-17, which was massive. What have you seen from Josh?
Josh Jobe has been that sticky corner that you're looking for. His technique has been absolutely sound and perfect, and it just showed that he can cover anybody out there. And I go back to the beginning of the season talking to JSN about practice. This is in training camp, about practice and the guys he's got to go up against, and he singled out Josh Jobe. He said, Josh Jobe is my toughest matchup. He's the guy that gives me the hardest time because of his technique, because of, you don't have to run a 4-2, 4-3. I think Josh Jobe's a 4-5 guy, but he's always in the right spot, always kind of reading the offense, kind of reading your route. So he just continues to show up and improve. And I will just give Coach Macdonald credit. What a perfect play call against the flea flicker here.
We are in the fourth quarter. Seahawks offense on the field. 2nd and 6. Ken Walker picks up 20.
2nd down and 7 at the Arizona 28. Eye backs this time behind Darnold. Walker cuts back to the right side. He's off to the races. Down to the 10. Knocked out of bounds near the 5-yard line. As he went off his right tackle, Abe Lucas, and he just kept on running until he was pushed out of bounds. Let's see where they actually spot this ball. Going to be down near the 7-yard line, I think.
Good explosive run from Walker there.
I think that's the big thing here is it's the fourth quarter when you want this run game to excel the most. You wear them down all game, committing to this run game, and then you start to break plays like this. And Kenneth Walker has that ability of any single play.
All right, well, not every play is going to be a highlight. Let's talk a little bit about some things that happened here that started to turn the tide toward a Cardinals rally. First, tell me what you saw on the Charbonnet touchdown that didn't end up counting, eventually called back.
Charbonnet now in the backfield. 1st and goal from the 8. Sharbs gets the handoff. He cuts back to the right side. He's going to go in. Touchdown! Seahawks. A flag is down, however. Hold the phone. As it was so wide open around that right side, we might actually have a hold.
Offense number 11. 10-yard penalty, still 1st down.
Wow, Jackson Smith and Jigba gets called for the hold.
And Jackson Smith and Jigba also shares his thoughts about the holding call, which is why you hear it bleeped out.
We've had some bad language from Seattle sports. We got Cal Raleigh the other night. Now we got JSN on the mic. I mean, what is it with us? But I tend to agree with JSN on this one. Yeah. I really do. He's in good spot. He's there. He's delivering the hit, and he gets ran over, and the guy falls on him, and they call hold. Kind of, I think they think that he pulled him down with him, which no camera angle that we saw showed that. Mm-hmm. But unfortunate because Charbonnet had a nice little juke move there, a little hop to the outside. Yeah. Showed a little elusiveness and was able to score, and that probably would have put the game out of hand 23-6 at that point if that touchdown stands.
Okay, we have just a couple more here. Going to cut this down because we're inching towards 4-down territory. So here's what I'm going to do. The Cardinals get a touchdown. Kyler connects with Marvin Harrison Jr. to make it 20-13. Seattle's still in the lead, but now it's very much a one-score game. Darnold finds JSN for 36 yards. I want to talk about that play. Tell me what you saw here.
Darnold starts with an empty backfield, then Charbonnet comes back there, slot on the right side, 4-man rush. Darnold has time. Looks, going to throw down the far sidelines. Has a man reaching up. It's Jackson Smith and Jigba. Who else catches the ball on the sidelines? A deep pass steps out of bounds by the Seahawks bench. A huge play. Melton on coverage and a perfect over-the-shoulder throw by Darnold. I mean, right in stride. JSN, those two come through again.
This did not end up being a scoring drive. The thing you and Curtis were initially disagreeing about is whether or not you go for it on 4th down. They opt for a field goal and they miss it. However, was this Darnold's best pass of the game?
Yeah, it was perfect pass. Right between the numbers and the sideline. JSN also plays it well. Right over his outside shoulder as you're taught as a receiver. And he almost makes it look too easy, too smooth. And that's what you're just beginning to get accustomed to with JSN, just making the tough catches look easy. But I will say this, it is 3rd and 6. Seahawks take a big shot. That, to me, is an aggressive play call, and I love it.
All right, well, the Cardinals end up tying the game. Kyler finds DeMercado.
Kyler Murray, tight slot, left side. DeMercado out of the backfield. Murray's going to throw to him, far side, and he's going to run into the end zone for a touchdown.
What happened on the touchdown? And 2, are you surprised they didn't go for 2?
No, I'm not surprised they didn't go for 2. You're at home. You want to take that to overtime. You're thinking their Seahawks aren't going to score with 28 seconds left, whatever it was. And what happened? Well, Devin Witherspoon just gave a little bit of an inside. He took the bait inside just for a split second, and DeMercado showed that he's fast because Devin Witherspoon almost caught him but couldn't get him. So, and he just raced Devin Witherspoon to the outside. And Devin Witherspoon, I would say, out of the 3 plays we've been talking about, the 2 catches to Marvin Harrison, and then this one, this is probably the one where it's probably a little more on Devin Witherspoon, getting slightly out of position and trying to play catch up.
I'm going to skip the botched ensuing kickoff by the Cardinals because we're going to get to that in the timeline. Some sound from Chase Daniel. He is not a fan of this rule, by the way. Instead, we're going to get to Darnold finding JSN.
Darnold from the shotgun takes the snap. Here comes the rush. Darnold throws back shoulder. It's JSN. Makes the catch inside the Arizona 40. Perfect pass by Darnold.
Now, that ends up, obviously, Jason goes on to sink that game winner from 52 yards out, but this felt like a monumentally important play on that drive.
You know what was the biggest part of this was the review and the fact that JSN was able to get out of bounds. This is a whole different drive if JSN doesn't get out of bounds and that they have to burn their timeout. Then the Seahawks have to think a little bit more. How do we do this? We got to rush the kicking team on then the next play, and it's all rushed a little bit. But having that timeout, able to set Jason Myers up to where he wants to be, get a little run play for 3 or 4 yards, kind of settles you down and sets you up nicely for that game winner.
Those were the plays of the game. Seahawks win this one. What ended up being kind of boring for most NFL fans, not in Seattle, and then a pretty close one late. Let's get to 4 down territory.
This is 4 down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down. Again, Brian Walters in for Michael Bumpus today. What's a wild stat you saw yesterday?
You know what, Stacy? You actually pointed this out to me. So hats off to this. And this is crazy because I guess we probably wouldn't have seen this because the Mariners haven't really been that good in September for the past few years.
So I guess it makes sense.
So this makes a lot of
this.
sense. But the Mariners 17-1 and the Seahawks 3-1 are combined 20-2 over the past 2 days. So it's the first time that ever an MLB team and an NFL team from the same city combined to win 20-plus games in 20 days, and each team contributing to multiple wins.
While I will say to that one that you're right, like we haven't had many Septembers where the Mariners have looked this good. I don't know that there's many Septembers where MLB teams have looked this good because, what is it, Curtis, 16 of 17? 17 of 18?
I think it's 17 of 18 now.
Jeez, absolutely unbelievable. 17-1 is just, it's been an amazing week
I'd say
if you're a Seattle sports fan.
The brunt of the pressure goes on the Major League Baseball team to get this stat.
Yeah, you gotta get 17 of the 20 wins, but Seahawks are still carrying it with 3 wins.
Pretty incredible,
good
though.
stuff.
Yep.
Second down. A big 32-yard completion to Elijah Arroyo, we played that clip earlier, made you think of why the Seahawks drafted Nicky Manwari. Tell us a bit more here.
Yeah, so on this play, there's a little mismatch. You have a tight end, Elijah Arroyo, who can run. That's what he did. That's why the Seahawks drafted him coming out of Miami. Is he's a pass-catching tight end who can run routes, runs like a wide receiver. And who's on him? Well, you have Josh Sweat. You're going to take that mismatch all day, every day, because your guy is faster, and you're going to trust that he's going to be able to route Josh Sweat up. And he did. He went up and made a play on this. Well, why then is Nicky Manwari going to be so valuable to the Seahawks defense when he comes back? Well, because that's the matchup you're looking for. You have Nicky Manwari. He's a big-bodied safety. He can come in and play tight ends like Elijah Arroyo. He can play defense against guys like George Kittle, who you're going to face. Trey McBride, who you would have loved to have Nicky Manwari there yesterday to defend it. So you get this big, athletic safety who can come in, stop the run, take on the big blocks of these tight ends, but also run with these guys and out-athlete these guys. And that's one place that the Seahawks took advantage of their mismatch right there with Elijah Arroyo against Josh Sweat. So Nicky Manwari, we're excited. We're hoping that he can get back this week. And unfortunately, he went down on the first drive of his career. But we're still excited about him, and he's going to add a huge part to this defense that we haven't seen yet.
I really like that spin on it, though, of like, hey, this is a really cool Seattle offensive play and highlight, and also a reminder of exactly why defenses want someone like that.
So, yeah, when you're playing against a run-heavy team like Seattle, you're not afraid to bring in an extra safety like that, like Nicky Manwari, to come in and play in the box, play the run stopping, and know that he can run out and cover a tight end like that. Where the Cardinals, they're coming in playing multiple linebackers, playing their base defense, and it's creating that mismatch that you want.
Third down. JSN didn't get a target until the third quarter. Absolutely insane. But the Seahawks offense was still rolling in the first half. So who stepped up in his place?
This is going to piggyback off the last thing we just talked about a little bit. But, yeah, no targets for JSN in the first half. We're going, what is going on? I think he had 2 runs. Might have. So they were trying to find a way to get the ball. But what is going on here? And I got to give a shout out to Paul Moyer in the pregame show. He says, you know what? These tight ends are going to step up today. They're going to come in. They're going to have a big day. And they did in that first half. They A.J. Barner, nice touchdown to start it off. Elijah Arroyo showing the explosive play. So the tight end group really stepped up, and that's nice to see because they've been a little bit quiet. We haven't seen a lot of them. A.J. Barner had one touchdown before, but so far I think A.J. Barner has 7 catches for 7 out of 9 targets. 7 catches, 9 targets on the season, 2 touchdowns now. So he's becoming a more reliable piece of this offense. Elijah Arroyo with the explosive play, and then also Elijah Arroyo on some of these flat routes, showing he can get the corner and run around. So this tight end group really, when you didn't have JSN the first half, the tight ends elevated their game, made some big plays they needed, allowed JSN to come back in the second half and take over that game.
You know, I know everyone pays attention to Travis Kelce and the Chiefs, not just because of Taylor Swift, but he does get a lot of spotlight for tight ends, obviously George Kittle. But in general, do you feel like that's a position group that's sometimes underutilized or can be a great weapon for teams?
No, if you have a top 5 tight end, it's a tremendous weapon because of the mismatches, because of what we just talked about. It's tough to find someone who can guard him because the second you bring a smaller person who can run with him in, then you're gonna have him block him.
Right.
He can overpower him. So that's where tight ends are so valuable. And I will say this, and all my tight end buddies will probably, I don't know, say something stupid to me about this, but they are one of the most athletic groups out there.
Oh, they're going to remind you.
They're going to remind me.
You're
Yeah,
like, well,
remember when you said this?
wide receivers are faster.
Yeah. But they can do it all. They're the hybrid.
Yeah.
They got to be able to block the big men and run with the fast guys. So it's a tough position. Yeah, they're good. A.J. Barner, Elijah Arroyo really stepping up.
I was listening to someone say that their theory of why tight ends are sometimes the weirdest dudes is because of that. Like, these are guys that have been big and strong and fast their whole lives. They played every sport. They could do everything. Yeah. It's just because they're not the fastest guy on the field, it's like, man, this guy is kind of a do-it-all.
When I was in San Diego, Antonio Gates was our tight end. And, he's one of the best
We've heard of
ever
him.
to do it. You've heard of him?
We've
Antonio
heard of
Gates?
him.
And I learned so much about route running from him. Just how crafty he was, creative he was off the line, and he wasn't the fastest guy. He was just the smoothest.
Yeah.
And never showed his routes, never showed the defense never gave the defense any kind of advantage. Everything looked the same, and he was one of the best, and I learned a lot from him. So there you go. I got my route running from a tight end. How about that?
And that's enough praise for tight ends. 4th down. Now it's time to praise a kicker. Mike Macdonald and a couple players kept mentioning the same thing about Jason Myers after this one. What'd they say?
They all talked about his golf game, which I will say this. I was in Jacksonville with Jason Myers, and we played a lot of golf together. He must have got a lot better. No, I'm kidding. I've played with him recently. He's hitting the ball well. But here's what they say about him. Here's what they say is, in golf, they see it with Jason, his mindset in golf. Yeah. And he goes out there, he might hit a bad shot, but he doesn't let it bother him. He kind of goes up. It's all about the next shot. What do you have up in front of you? Where you're in the trees, in the fairway, doesn't matter. It's all about that next shot. And that's what they noticed. They've noticed that his demeanor on the golf course goes to the football field. It transfers over. So when he goes up there and he misses that kick late in the game where you're going, oh no, like this is giving the Cardinals a chance. Everyone on the team still had confidence that if he was given that opportunity again, and in golf we would call that a mulligan. And Jason Myers was able to get the mulligan, and his name was called on again, and no one had a doubt. And Jason Myers made it happen. Where if you're sitting there and you're thinking about your last shot, you're thinking about your last kick, a lot of things can go wrong. You just don't let that natural athleticism take over something you've done your whole life. So hats off to Jason Myers, throwing that missed kick out and going and getting that mulligan and making it count.
Some great news. The Mariners were able to successfully identify the fan who gave Cal Raleigh's 60th home run ball to a little kid. We'll tell you what happened next on your home for the Mariners playoff run, Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Watch live high school football. It's the Seattle Sports Game of the Week.
Going for it all. He's got a wide open man. Pop touchdown, Spartans!
Week 4 pits the Skyline Spartans against the Bothell Cougars tonight at 7 p.m. Live from Pop Key Stadium.
Pressure and he's taken down!
Watch the game exclusively on the Seattle Sports app, Seattle Sports on YouTube, and seattlesports.com.
Comes up with a big INT.
See the full 2025 season schedule at seattlesports.com/high school.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Imagine homes so well designed and so luxurious, they'll be setting the standard for decades. You're imagining a Mainview home. Now imagine a Mainview home on sale, saving $50,000 to $120,000.
Isn't that what Brett and Amy bought?
Yeah, it's a Mainview, and they saved a bundle.
What are you doing?
Looking at the Mainview website. It's now or never.
What's better than a Mainview home? A Mainview home on sale. Mainview communities across the Puget Sound.
With football season comes colder weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here with Keith Dashafee from locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. So Keith, what's your next big play?
Well, Steve, right now get 40% off qualifying installs or no payments and no interest for 12 months on approved credit.
Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
September is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. I'm joined by Tim Hunter, who underwent treatment in February. Tim, what's it like to go through the CyberKnife treatment?
Well, you go in, you do a 5-day-in-a-row stint. You go to the Swedish hospital, and it's they say set aside 45 minutes for each treatment. It's really only about 35 minutes of that little robotic arm dancing around you. There's no pain involved. It was just too easy.
Treat prostate cancer with Swedish CyberKnife. Go to swedish.org/CyberKnifeProstate.
There it goes! Storybook season by Cal Raleigh. He has done it!
2026 Mariners season ticket memberships are on sale now. There's no better way to catch Cal, Julio, and the crew at T-Mobile Park with year-round savings, no ticket fees, access to exclusive pre-sales at events, and more. And you've got two great options. Reserved memberships let you lock in the best locations in the ballpark so you can make your favorite spot home all summer long, whether you want to catch 20 games or the whole season.
Oh, he makes the catch! What a snag by Julio Rodriguez!
Or go with a Flex membership, which gives you the freedom to choose your seats, games, and number of tickets as you go. Terrace Club, bleachers, right behind the dugout, divvy it up however you want. This season's been a whole lot of fun, and you won't want to miss out in 2026. Come on board today at mariners.com/26.
The Mariners, their third consecutive shutout win.
Mariners baseball. Seize the moment.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
All right, as the weather starts to cool down, we head inside with those chillier temperatures, a little less daylight. We have more time to spend watching football, maybe keeping a close eye on the playoff chase. However, that also means we're a little closer to the chips, the snacks. They're waiting patiently in the pantry. A little less time outside. That can mean a little less time being active as well. Well, don't let the number on the scale increase this fall. Instead, watch Watch it go down as you have the ability to lose almost a pound a day with Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. I honestly didn't believe it until I tried it, but then I lost 24 pounds in a month, 35 pounds after just 8 weeks, and it wasn't that hard. No injections, no surgery, no prepackaged meals, no counting calories. You don't even need to exercise. Yeah, this Eastside Weight Loss Clinic plan really does work because it's about eating healthy, delicious food that you buy at the grocery store with not a ton of sacrifice or real difficulty. Book a time today. Go to eastsideweightlossclinic.com for a 15-minute consult. That's eastsideweightlossclinic.com. Dr. Ryan Coogan, DC. Results may vary.
Brought to you by Integrated Rehabilitation Group.
This is The Timeline
with Bump and Stacy.
Brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
All right, it is The Timeline on Bump and Stacy. NFL analyst Brian Walters, former Seahawk, and we're going to get to that background here in for Michael Bumpus. Let's start with some Mariners stuff before we get to some spicy comments from Richard Sherman on the Thursday Night Football broadcast. Some great news. A lot of you guys know the story of the Mariners fan who caught Cal Raleigh's 60th home run ball, which he could have sold for I don't know how much at auction, though I doubt the Mariners would have let him get to auction. They were probably scrambling to get the PR staff over there. But he caught it and immediately gave it to a 12-year-old boy nearby. Now, the 12-year-old boy gets ushered out. His dad called into our sister station, Cairo FM, earlier, kind of telling the story of, I think he got like a signed bat, something really cool. But this fan walks away at the time with nothing, right? Because you gave this incredibly valuable home run ball to a kid. And if this is game one, 90% of people catching a ball, right? You do it for the chase. And then you look for a little kid, and here you go. This means more to me. I don't know how many people give this ball to anyone else, but he did. So the Mariners wanted to track him down. They were able to successfully identify him, and he got to meet Cal Raleigh and get some signed stuff of his own.
The kid did or the guy did?
The guy did.
The guy did. Did the kid meet Cal Raleigh too?
That I don't know, but he did get stuff. His dad was on 97.3. I forgot what he said he got, though. He got some signed stuff for sure, maybe like a bat. I don't know if he met him. Granted, that night, I think Cal Raleigh was double fisting beers, so I don't know if we're going to usher a kid into the clubhouse.
You know, I always put myself in this situation. Like, if I caught a big-time home run,
what would I do?
What would I do? And I don't know if I would be a good person.
Well, it's like, imagine finding $10,000 on the pavement. Would you be like, I better run to a police station? Yeah. Now, first of all, I don't know if I'm touching it because that's suspect.
Yeah,
but
fair. I think I'd be, I don't know, maybe Mariners season tickets next year and some good seats. What do you guys think? What do you guys want for this? You know, maybe hold it for ransom a little bit.
Yeah, and then I'll give this back.
But good for him. That's good. If he hands the ball over, hey, let me meet Cal. Mariners, give him some signed stuff. Pretty cool little story. And man, Cal's season so amazing.
Can I tell you the cutest thing? Like on both sides, this was just a feel-good, really great display of people. In addition to the guy giving the ball to the kid's dad said that he initially didn't even want anything. He wanted Cal to have the ball.
Oh,
Isn't that cute?
It is.
Just a pure of heart little child.
Have you ever caught a foul ball?
No, absolutely not. I'm running out of the way.
You're running out of the way.
I'm protecting my face. I couldn't. I'll throw anyone else in front of it. Yeah, take no prisoners. All right, let's get to some spicy comments from Richard Sherman here. The Thursday Night Football pregame show was discussing Russell Wilson's benching in New York. And former teammate Richard Sherman couldn't help himself from taking some credit for the Seahawks' success during their time playing together fairly. But take a listen to what he said.
I think you got to judge his career off when the Legion of Boom was there. He had a legendary defense, an all-time defense, and how much success he had. And then without that legendary defense, the success he had. Without that legendary defense, he's been 4-11, 7-8. 0-3 to start with the Giants. He was a winning football player in Seattle, and people said, hey, winning is football player, all this good stuff, all these accolades, and now you get to go on your own and you get to prove, hey, I'm this great quarterback. I'm this guy that's going to be dominant, and it just hasn't worked out that way.
Now, here's my thing, and Brian, one of us has actually played with Russell Wilson and Richard Sherman. It is not me, so your insight is very valuable here. My initial interpretation of this is, one, Richard is right in that the Legion of Boom is by far the biggest reason Seattle won that Super Bowl and that they were on that run. I don't think anyone's debating that. Like, Russell Wilson was not central to that team, but was an important piece, obviously, as the quarterback. Two, I think jumping ahead to, look at Russell Wilson without the defense. He went 4 of 11. He went whatever. Well, hang on a sec. Sherm, you're forgetting about the seasons in which the Legion of Boom was gone from Seattle, but Russell Wilson was still there. In 2018, the team was 10-6. In 2019, they were 11-5. In 2020, they were 12-4. Did they get to a Super Bowl? Were they successful in the postseason? No. But is that purely because of Russell Wilson? Or is it because during that same time, your defense ranked 26th, 22nd, and 28th in yards allowed once it no longer had these like amazing all-pro players?
I got to be very, very
Please
careful
do.
with this one. But I will say this. I tend to agree with Richard Sherman. I do.
Okay.
That's what I'll just initially say. Because that defense was so good. That defense was the best defense for 4 straight years.
It's the best I've
defense
ever
wins
seen.
championships. You've heard that saying. That's exactly what that was. We won the Super Bowl because of that defense. We got to the Super Bowl because of that defense. And
Marshawn.
And Marshawn and our run game. So there's another aspect to it. Marshawn was incredible as well. Offensively, that's what we were based on. We were a run-first team. Give the ball to Marshawn. So it's tough because there's a lot of, I wouldn't say a lot, there's, I think, a handful of players on that team that are more valuable to the Super Bowl run than Russell was for us.
Yes,
Right?
I don't disagree.
Like the whole Legion of Boom, Bobby Wagner, like our defense.
I will push back a little bit, though, in that how far down can you really push a quarterback? It's okay if he's not top 5, 6, 7. Okay, cool. Like, yeah, that defense, again, the best defense I've personally watched. I wasn't around watching the 85 Bears.
Yeah, I don't want to like sit here and.
I'm just saying you can't pretend a quarterback doesn't touch the ball every time.
I don't want to like rip on Russell Wilson or anything, but
that's not what you're doing.
No, I'm not going to do that. But that's not my intention here. You know, he was a quarterback on a Super Bowl winning team, and we lost another Super Bowl. A lot of things we can talk about there, but it wasn't always perfect with Russ, I guess. We weren't always on schedule with Russ offensively. There was a lot of I remember those years. It wasn't like the offense was just getting all kinds of praise through the media through that season. Like, oh, this offense is unstoppable. It wasn't. We had our struggles that year. And is it all on Russ? No, but a lot of it is it's about staying on time when you're a quarterback. It's about running the offense the way it's supposed to be ran. Being, when I say on time, 1, 2, 3 step, balls out. And that wasn't always the case with Russ. Russ was improvising all the time. And some of it was really good, and some of it was really bad.
Yep.
And, you know, you go to the NFC Championship game that we beat the Packers, the big comeback and stuff. I mean, I think he threw 4 or 5 interceptions that game. I mean, that's just something that our defense kept us in that game. And it's going to happen. Quarterbacks are going to throw interceptions. Were they all his fault? I don't know. We got to go back and look. But, like, that's just something you got to remember, I think, when you're talking about Russ. And then another thing that I would say is a lot of quarterbacks, the great quarterbacks, will switch teams and go somewhere and make that team a lot better.
Fair.
I don't know if we've seen that from Russ. I know we have not seen that. I was trying to be very nice.
No, Russ fell off a cliff.
We haven't seen that. We haven't seen him go to the Pittsburgh Steelers and make them a championship contender. You haven't seen him. He didn't go to the New York Giants, make them a championship contender. And to me, that's saying something.
Okay, here's
the defense.
I agree. Here's my question, though. I wish I could ask Richard Sherman, and I am going to ask you, okay, what if instead of jumping from 2017, the final year where the Legion of Boom was there, like that era was completely controlled by the defense, to Russ's first year with Denver, what about the years in between? So 2018, 19, 20, 21, like those years with Russ, what I'm curious about, I wish I could ask Richard Sherman, well, is it because of Russ that they didn't get it? Because you have a lot of wins those seasons. You have a 12-4 season during that run. You have, I think, Russ threw 35 touchdowns, a career high in one of those seasons, and that was a franchise high at the time. I think it might still be. Geno since surpassed him for single-season passing yards, but I think that was also set during that time. You have incredible play from Doug Baldwin, some great receivers. You don't get back to a Super Bowl, but in 2019, you were 24th against the pass. In 2020, you were 30th against the pass. In 21, you were 31st. And then once you improved against the pass, you started struggling against the run. Your worst run defenses were with Geno, so I'll leave that out of it. But your defense feels like an important part of why you also didn't win during that.
But I think that's fueling the argument that Sherman's making. Because when he didn't have the number one defense in the league,
Yeah.
he didn't win a Super Bowl.
But
he didn't go
does
to
a
the
quarterback
NFC
need a
Championship.
number one defense in the league to be considered? Like, must you win with a number one defense? Not every team.
Yes,
I haven't seen a defense
If you're a quarterback, it is mandatory to win if you have the best defense in the league. If you are not winning with the best defense in the league, you are not doing your job.
What's
as
your
a
job
quarterback.
if you have one of the worst defenses?
Yeah, I mean, you still got to win. You still got to figure it out as a quarterback. You still got to make the play. Still got to run the offense. Still got to execute. But they didn't. That's the thing. I don't think they got past the first round of the playoffs.
No, it was really disappointing.
It was.
Yeah.
And so, but I think that's the point he's making.
Okay, but what about 2019? They're 8th in yards. They're a top 10 offense in points and yards. 26th in yards defensively. Are you doing your job as a quarterback if you're a top 10 offense?
Maybe. I mean, are you winning a playoff game? That's what the argument's all about.
That year
right?
they lost in the divisional round.
Lost in the divisional round.
I don't know if they won a wild card. I think they won one wild card and then lost. That might have been two.
When was the Minnesota
That would have been
game?
Atlanta.
Is that 2015 in Minnesota or 16?
Yeah, that would have been with
early.
Bennett and them
Yeah,
still
that's
there.
right. Okay. When the field goal was missed?
Yeah.
Okay.
So again, I think Russ believed he was truly better than he was. I think that's a fact.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's hard for me because I remember covering all those games and my perception of it was so different. And granted, I was in the locker room, but not part of that team. Yeah. There's a lot I don't know.
And those years after 2017, 18, 19, 20, when did he go to Denver? 21? 22?
22 was the
22.
first season.
I mean, it was almost like there was always a lot of drama around Russ going into the offseason.
Undoubtedly.
And you don't want that. Like, you just don't want that as a quarterback, and that doesn't help your team at all.
Russ is a character as a leader. Very different conversation that we're having. Russ strictly as a player, I find a little more interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. We want to send one of you and 3 friends to watch the Seahawks' 50th season celebration game on October 5th. All you need to do is open the Seattle Sports app and click the Win tab to find out how. If you don't already have the app, just text the word app to 866-979-3776 and we'll send you a link to download. Enter daily to increase your chances to win. This contest runs through Monday, September 29th. Quickly, the IRG injury report brought to you by IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. Brian Wu, dealing with that pec issue, played catch on Thursday, so that's good news. Those were his first throws since leaving last week's game against Houston. If it all goes to plan, he'll have 2 weeks off before the Mariners' first game of the ALDS. All right, latest from Mike Macdonald coming your way next.
He's already past the likes of Bench, Mantle, and of course, Junior.
Holy smokes, where is this going to land? Upper deck, right field.
Look out, babe.
Here comes Cal Raleigh.
Countdown, 3, 2, 1.
Swing and a drive, deep to right field. There it is, number 60, the modern-day Bambino.
This is where you hear every
Gone! Cal Raleigh!
the home of your American League West champion Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Welcome to IRG Sports Injury Update. We're here with Shannon O'Kelly, physical therapist and president of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. And our guest, Dr. Anthony Yee, orthopedic surgeon with additional advanced training in foot and ankle surgery at Orthopedic Specialist of Seattle.
Dr. Yee, thanks for coming on. Everybody knows about Aaron Rodgers' 4th play of the season. He tears his Achilles tendon. He had surgery, and they used a technique called speed bridge. Maybe tell us what that means with an Achilles tendon repair.
Yeah, so it's an awesome newer technique that a company called Arthrex has recently put out that allows surgeons to repair an Achilles through a minimally invasive approach. So a very small incision that only requires a few stitches, and you get really robust repair of the Achilles tendon and get to anchor it down into the heel bone. So it really allows for accelerated rehab. Aaron Rodgers walking around, throwing the football a little over a month out from his surgery is almost unheard of. The average patient is usually just starting to wean off of crutches somewhere around the 6-week mark.
Well, when you talk about new technology and also minimally invasive surgery, so the accelerated rehab, Aaron Rodgers, for example, he's talking about coming back in November. Is that really a possibility with this new technique?
I would be surprised, but I won't discount it. You know, there is a precedent with Cam Akers coming back somewhere around, I believe, 4 or 5 months after an Achilles rupture in this similar procedure. So I won't write it off.
Yeah, Speed Bridge, that new technique, minimally invasive surgery, is allowing athletes and doctors like yourself to progress rehab a lot faster and get these athletes back to play. Dr. Yee, thank you so much for your time. Great information.
Thanks for having me.
If you want more information regarding foot and ankle injuries, you can contact Dr. Anthony Yee at orthopedicspecialistofseattle.com. That's orthopedicspecialistofseattle.com.
With over 40 neighborhood clinics around Washington, IRG has you covered. Let IRG be your family's physical therapist. Find the location nearest you at irgpt.com. That's irgpt.com.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first, on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home for you so you attract the right buyers. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
Our bats are back, and the ballpark is rocking like 2001. I'm Dr. Ryan Stern with the Stern Sinus Center. For those of you sick of searching for another allergy medication, we offer a solution that will save you time, money, and frustration. Rynair is a simple, minimally invasive procedure that significantly reduces postnasal drip and stuffiness. We're taking new patients. Schedule your appointment in Auburn or Federal Way or go to sternsinus.com.
Headed outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on seattlesports.com.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-275-1728. That's 800-275-1728.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-275-1728. That's 800-275-1728.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
All right, another exclusive interview with Mike Macdonald with Brock and Salk. We had 2 Mike Macdonald shows this week. Look at that. This one earlier this morning, full interview on the Brock and Salk podcast, but we're going to play some of the best sound we heard from Mike Macdonald Show. So let's get to him talking about kind of the survival element of Thursday night football. I don't know if it's a favorite of players to play on a short week, but here's what Macdonald said.
Yeah, I think, well, I wouldn't say survival, but I would say they're a little funky. You know, they're not. There's a funkiness to it where, I think, like we said going into the game, it's the teams that are ready to play the most, that can kind of go the whole 60 minutes and how you can execute. You know, how you start games. I thought, we started. Obviously, the first half was really great. Second half got to that point in the tape yet, but it felt like we had opportunities to go close them out. But able to we fought the whole game and able to pull it out, so that was good.
What's it like playing on a short week? Like, what do teams try to prioritize? Does a ton change?
Recovery. You're doing walkthroughs all week. It's more of a mental week, I would say. You're more, you got to really squeeze in the game plan quicker than you usually do, while prioritizing your recovery, while really cramming that in. So I think Coach Macdonald mentioned early in the week, you're doing a day and a half of work in one day and to get ready for that game. It's tough. It's tough because you just start to feel better about Wednesday after your normal Wednesday practice on a normal week is when you're kind of like, all right, I got the blood going. I'm starting to feel better. And then boom, you're already playing another game. And that's the tough part. Where in a normal week, you're like, okay, I feel good. Let's have this nice Thursday practice, Friday, get ready for and you're feeling rested going into Sunday. But Thursday, you don't get that. So I would call it's almost a survival game. And a lot of weird things happen on Thursday nights, too.
Right.
It's always weird games.
In Arizona, weird things have happened.
Yeah. I mean, take the Kobe Bryant interception fumble. Like, when do you ever see something like that?
Exactly.
And that's a weird thing that you don't expect
The
to see.
special teams gaff, which I didn't even get to in the timeline, but Chase Daniels, a former Bears backup, was saying, like, I hate this rule. Of course that happens on a Thursday night game in Arizona.
Of course it does. But again, I mean, the new rule put a little pressure on the kicker. The kicker knew he had to do that, and he didn't perform. He didn't execute what he was supposed to do. So I don't know what to tell you about that. So it's just like, it's an excuse.
Well, why don't you tell me what you think about Leonard Williams' season? Because Mike Macdonald thinks he deserves more national love.
You're right. And he doesn't get enough love nationally. He doesn't. I know teams respect the heck out of him. I mean, without getting all the trade inside football here, like, teams account for him. And it's very obvious on that they do that. And just we had similar conversations as last year started to unfold is, okay, now how are you going to react as teams start making a focal point part of their game plan? And I think he's had growth in just his mentality and his approach going into that, where he can stay as productive as he is while they're, making him a main focal point of what they're doing. So he's playing great football right now. Again, if he was sitting right here, he would tell you that there's another level he can go to. I believe that. But the guy, game wrecker is a great way to describe him. He definitely deserves more love. I have a hard time thinking there's another defensive lineman playing better than him right now in the league.
I agree with him in that he's absolutely overlooked with the national conversation. What do you think, and what are you seeing from Big Cat?
He's absolutely overlooked. I think that's a perfect description of him as a game wrecker. What did he come in last year at the top 100 player ranked?
Oh, God.
Wasn't he like 99?
Curtis, do you remember? It was later than we all.
Yeah, I think it was 99.
It was 99, barely cracking the top 100 after one of the best defensive tackle seasons I've ever seen.
Disrespect.
Stat-wise, he just constantly gets disrespected. But I think for him, it's going to be huge to pile on back-to-back seasons with those kind of stats, and he's doing it already. 1.5 sacks yesterday. He makes the whole defense better. He's that I don't know, that rock right in the middle of the defense that teammates love it. It's fun to watch him play.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not much more you can say about him, but he just continues to put up big numbers and make big plays for this team.
Let's talk about their decision-making process on that game-winning field goal.
Yeah, look, every yard matters. We talked about every yard matters when you're talking about field goals. But there's a balance in trying to be smart and not. And I thought running ball was a great decision right there.
Would that have changed potentially if you're down one versus being tied?
Well, we were in range. And so the last thing you want to do is get out of range. Mm-hmm. And so we felt like that was the best decision right there, which I thought it was. I thought how we handled that situation was great. There's some other ones where I feel like we're going to go back and look and see if we were making the right decision.
So they've got a timeout remaining on this point, and what I'm gathering is Macdonald, and I saw you nodding, is with your same thought process of, like, you don't want to go out of range. You can risk an interception. You risk a sack when you're dropping back. Instead, we're going to run it. And the thought process also being, we run it, let the clock bleed, then we call that timeout versus incomplete stopping the clock. So I saw you nodding specifically when it comes to the decision-making process of a pass or run. And I was listening to some critics saying, Sam Darnold's played a great game. Why aren't you trusting him more? Something tells me you're with Mike on this one.
Well, they are trusting him. I mean, to get to that point, you threw the 22-yard pass to JSN on the sideline, his perfect pass. The drive before that, you had the big deep pass to JSN. So they are trusting him. They're letting him be aggressive and throw the ball downfield. But it doesn't make any sense to me to look. If you're going to pass it there, you're going to throw a quick game anyway, because you're not going to drop back and you're not going to risk a sack. You're not going to put yourself out of field goal range, because that's the absolute worst thing that can happen. So you're going to do a quick 3-step ball out. Well, what are you going to get on that play? 5 yards? 6 yards, maybe 3 yards, maybe 4 yards. Well, they ran the ball. They got 4 yards. So might as well do the safe play, the play that's gonna get you in control of the clock.
It was a good run.
It was a great run, and that's what you want. That's the team's identity, is to run the ball. That's what you want to show teams, is when it's crunch time and it matters and we need this, we're going to run the ball. And they got 4 yards, and you can set it up to where Jason Myers wants the ball, and you're already in field goal range. You don't put it in harm's way. You let the clock run. It's just perfect clock management and just a way to say, hey, we're going to have the last shot to win this game. Because, again, I always go back to this reference with any game. You go back to the start of the game, you're given a 52-yard field goal to win the game. Are you going to take it? At the start of the game, if you're given that option, hey, Jason, go make a 52-yarder, we win this game. And most likely you're going to say yes. That is, yes, we will take that option. And that's the option they had, and that's what they chose.
Watch high school football live tonight for the Seattle Sports Game of the Week presented by STSPN. Week 4 matchup pits the Skyline Spartans against the Bothell Cougars tonight at 7 p.m. from Pop Keeney Stadium. You can watch live at 7 p.m. exclusively on the Seattle Sports app, seattlesports.com, and the Seattle Sports YouTube page. For full 2025 matchups, visit seattlesports.com/high school. You mentioned something earlier that was very interesting, Brian Walters in for Michael Bumpus. You said, hey, last year's team was 3-1 to start the season. This year's team is 3-1 to start the season. Which team's better? Are they better this year? That's our caller question for you guys. And by the way, we thought it would be fun if you do think the team is better. We're both kind of curious how far you think they can actually go. 866-979-3776. Oh, and by the way, don't be afraid to call in if you're like, I'm not sold yet, but we want to know why. 866-979-3776. Call now. That's coming your way next.
ESPN senior MLB insider Jeff Passan with Brock and Salk.
How complete is this Mariner team right now?
You know, we have a story coming out on ESPN.com. I think it's tomorrow. First question, what's the boldest prediction you've heard from an MLB executive or scout? Passan, the Seattle Mariners are going to win the World Series. If you just objectively look at what the Mariners are doing right now, they've had the best offense in Major League Baseball in the month of September.
Get more on the Seattle Sports YouTube page and the Seattle Sports app.
Matt Coker here with West Coast Men's Health. In the past 5 years, we've seen thousands of men at our clinics. Most guys tell us the same story, that in their early 50s, it's not that they couldn't function, they just needed help. They started taking Viagra, and it worked great at first. But after a few years, it stopped working. The problem is that their arteries had become more restricted since they started taking it, because Viagra does not unclog arteries. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we use acoustic wave therapy to target the real problem. We break down plaque and clear up the arteries so blood can flow like it did in your 20s. This restores function. And guys, listen to this. You won't have to take a pill anymore. So if this sounds like you, give West Coast Men's Health a call today and see how we can help.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
If you've been considering upgrading your siding, now is the perfect time. Hi, I'm Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. In the Pacific Northwest, moisture is the enemy. Old failing siding leads to hidden water damage, rot, and mold. State Roofing and Exteriors is a James Hardy preferred contractor with over 55 years of siding expertise. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com to schedule your siding inspection today. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
State Roofing, the best roof you'll ever need.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
Toyota of Kirkland's service department has you covered as the summer winds down and the fall approaches. At Toyota of Kirkland, be confident in your brakes with a complimentary brake inspection. Get winter ready with a free battery health check, wiper blade installation, and multi-point inspection. Thinking of trading in? Get a complimentary vehicle appraisal. Stay ahead with the maintenance service plan at $374 plus tax. And yes, they match coupons from other local Toyota dealers. Visit toyotaofkirkland.com to schedule your service today. Drive safe, drive smart with Toyota of Kirkland.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Mom, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotion. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. Consequently, they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Dial pound 250 and say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS for Kids. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners have clinched the number 2 seed in the American League, and they did it before last night's game even started, thanks to a loss by the Guardians. Seattle won the game anyway, getting a sweep of the Rockies. The Mariners have won 17 of 18 and opened their final series of the regular season tonight at T-Mobile against a sold-out crowd playing the Dodgers for this one. You can catch the game on Seattle Sports.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now.
Through 4 weeks last year, the Seahawks were 3-1. Through 4 weeks this year, the Seahawks are 3-1. Is this year's team better than last year's? It's an easy question to answer. Call now, 866-979-3776. We were debating, do we talk about how far the team goes in the playoffs and what we're thinking? And I didn't even realize until you said it, Brian, that this year's team had the exact same record. It just feels like such a different team. You got a different quarterback. You still have JSN, but otherwise, different wide receivers. You got some new pieces on offense and the offensive line. Man, I can't believe I'd forgotten the 3-1 start last year.
I know. In a 3-0 start.
Yeah, 3-0, technically.
Okay, this team is legit going, but you look back. I look at the defense. I look at where Macdonald had the defense back then, and you just had a lot of unknown spots. You think about the linebackers you had. And they played well with Jerome Baker and Tyrell Dotson, those two guys. The first couple games, I thought they played pretty good. And then it kind of slowly started going downhill after that. But for the first, that Broncos game, week 1, we didn't know what the Broncos were. Bo Nix's first game last season. And the defense, they played so well that game. I thought they played well. So the identity was starting to form. But this year, again, last year it was unknown. You're like, what do we expect? This year, you expect it, and you're waiting to see more. And I think that's kind of the beauty of it. Like last year's team, when they started 3-1, I thought that was unexpected. I would say you didn't expect them to start 3-1. This year, it's kind of you expected it. It's kind of the floor.
Yeah.
You're like, this team's talented enough. They better be 3-1.
Yeah. What makes this year's team a better Seahawks team, if that's what you think? 866-979-3776. Call now. 866-979-3776. When we began the year, the 49ers the Rams heavily favored to win the NFC West. The 49ers are kind of like a sexy pick for the West. I can't think of a single prediction, Vegas odds kind of thing that I saw putting Seattle as winners of the West. I think a ton of that was just the idea that Sam Darnold would remain a pumpkin after turning into one for the final 2 weeks. I cannot believe that after 4 weeks of the season, I'm going, shoot, maybe they can win the West. I mean, the Rams looked really good. The 49ers are still undefeated, but here I am going, man, I feel pretty good about them.
Yeah, I still think the Rams are going to be the team to beat as far as
their
Seahawks need to
offense
get
has
them.
been
I think
unreal.
the 49ers, they're getting hit by injuries now. Brock Purdy's been out. Nick Bosa for the year. You lose him. That's a staple to your defense. I see the 49ers sliding a little bit as this season goes. So to me, it's about taking care of the Rams. And they have talent everywhere. They lost a tough one to the Eagles. Hopefully that demoralizes them and they start tanking as well.
Yeah.
But I still think people from the outside here who don't know the Seahawks, they look at it and they say, well, DK Metcalf is one of the best receivers in the league, and they lost him. They don't have him. Where's this explosion going to come from? Well, I feel like in the Seahawks, it was okay to see DK go. Like, we knew what he brought to the table. We knew what kind of receiver he was, and we were happy with who they filled to take his spot. A lot of people don't think that. A lot of the outsiders looking at, no, DK Metcalf is a specimen. He's fast, one of the biggest freak athletes in the game. And then, Sam Darnold, question marks, but he was the number one quarterback free agent. So that's what I don't get either. He was the guy that I'm sure multiple teams were going after to get. So I thought it was a good offseason for the Seahawks.
Is this year's Seahawks team 3-1 better than last year's Seahawks team, also 3-1 to start? Chris calling from Bellingham. Chris, is this year's team better than last year's?
No, I don't think it's better, but I think the quarterback plays better. I think that K9 is he looks like he's afraid to go through a hole, and I think that's a big problem. And no, I think that I don't think they're better than last year's team. No, I think they have potential to be, but I think K9 is definitely the weakest link.
Interesting. I mean, so what I think K9's been running pretty good as far as what he's shown compared to last year. Last year he was injured all year.
Yeah.
So if we're comparing the teams last year, I feel like this season K9 has shown that he can stay healthy, and it's that 1-2 punch with Charbonnet's actually been injured a little bit, but it's that 1-2 punch with K9. And again, I think people knock K9 because he tends to try to make the explosive play all the time, as opposed to just like what Chris just said, hit the hole and go and get 3-4 yards. But that's why he creates some of these explosive plays, because he is trying to do the cutbacks. He has such good balance and he's maintaining. So it's a tough one to see or to hear, I guess. But I think the defense is a lot better too. So we didn't talk about that one.
Hey, Chris, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Is there something you do think is better this year? So you said quarterback play.
I'm saying, you said, is this year's team, a whole, better than last year's team, a whole? And you guys just individually compared player to player. I'm not saying that. I'm saying as a team, they have the potential to be better than last year's team because they got better quarterback play. They can figure out how to run through the holes.
Wait, but you said this year's team isn't better.
No, it's not, but it has the potential to be. I don't think it is at this point, no. But I think it has the potential to be better, but they've got to correct some issues, like running through the holes. Like, instead of bumping somebody with a shoulder, wrap them up and tackle them. That was sad last night. I don't get to watch many games because they're on Fox, but the one I watched last night was not that good.
Okay, so you're saying right now it's not. Ken Walker's a liability. I'm not loving the way he runs. I'm not loving some of the tackling. I'm not loving some of this, but they could be if they improve that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And get the guys to stop throwing footballs at the opponents because that dumb 15-yard rule.
Wait, what?
Talk about K9.
Oh, the taunting rule. Yeah. No, I hate the taunting too. I hate taunting too. Chris, I'm with you.
Stupid. All right. Anyways, thanks for taking my call. You
Thanks.
guys are awesome.
Thanks, Chris. Yeah, I'll co-sign Chris's point on taunting, but also please stop throwing footballs at people.
I agree.
Ken.
Don't throw footballs. I was confused because he originally said this team's not better.
Well, what'd you think about his point? He said it's not better right now.
I think they are a lot better right now.
What makes them a lot better right now?
A lot better. Well, the defense is playing.
I agree with you.
They've
but I'm
dominated
asking.
4 straight games. The defense has. So, and I actually think they're a fantastic tackling team. That's one thing that actually they've had 2 plays that Jalen Warren, that big play that Aaron Rodgers kind of threw as a breakdown, and Jalen Warren went for like 65 yards where they missed like 5 tackles.
That
was a little fluke
bad.
play. But you can't.
Reek of all people. I shouldn't say of all people, but Reek making the final tackle there.
But you can't think of many plays like that, and which is a good thing, obviously. But I think they're a really good tackling team. Devin Witherspoon maybe missed that tackle on that last touchdown, just out of reach. Couldn't quite reach him. He's tried to clip his ankles. So I don't know. I think defensively, it's not even a comparison where this team is this year compared to last year.
Well, and
you're forcing turnovers.
what do you think about the way Ken runs? Because I don't have a particular issue, but I have heard points like Chris's before.
Well, but
including from
but that was also the point
people
last
cover.
year. Ken Walker, everyone criticized him for how he ran last year as well.
Yeah.
So
So what's changed?
Not a lot. The scheme
Yeah.
has changed,
Yeah.
and the scheme's much better for Kenneth Walker this year. So last year, the thing is, Kenneth Walker probably got 8 carries a game.
What makes it better for Ken?
It's just the cutbacks are there a little more. The outside zone scheme, the cutbacks, the way the offensive line have to stretch they're kind of just stretching the field. It's given Kenneth Walker a little more vision, a little more, the more ability to be himself and hit those cutbacks and use his speed to the edge if he has to. Kenneth Walker's not these running backs. Charbonnet's the power guy. He's the guy that's going to hit the hole. He's going to get you 3-4 yards. He's going to lower his shoulder. He's going to wear a defense down. Kenneth Walker's the home run hitter, and that's what these guys are. That's how this team is built. Just like I keep comparing it to the Lions with Dave Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. That's what you have there. You have Dave Montgomery as your power back, and you have Jahmyr Gibbs as your speedster. That's what the Cardinals had with James Conner and Trey Benson. James Conner was the power guy. He's going to run tackle to tackle. He's going to wear you down. He's going to fall he's going to be falling forward all the time, and Trey Benson's going to stretch you side to side. He's going to use his speed, and he's going to be that side to side runner. And that's what the Seahawks have essentially. So I thought Kenneth Walker has had 2 fantastic games running the ball.
Yeah,
and we haven't seen a game like that for Kenneth Walker. He hasn't gone over 100 yards since week 1 last year until this season when he did it. So I think he's running a lot better this year.
Yeah. Chris, I'm sorry. I think we do both disagree with you, but thank you for calling in. 866-979-3776. Eric calling from Linden, all the way out in Linden. Eric, what's up? You think this team's Seahawks team is better?
I do. I think the defense is a lot better. It kind of reminds me of like in 2012, before we won the Super Bowl, how you could kind of see that, wow, these guys are something special. And then that Super Bowl year, they're really special. I think that's kind of where we're at now. I think this defense is just starting to learn. And it might not come to fruition this year, but next year, I think they're going to be hard to handle, honestly.
Thanks for the call, Eric. What's interesting, this year's defense has almost the exact same roster as last year's, but only beyond the trade deadline. Last year's defense, week 1, did not have Ernest Jones. Did not have, obviously, any rookies you've got out there, but is this year's defense also much better than last?
I love what Eric just said there. I do. I think that's spot on, because in 2012, when we were making that run, lost to Atlanta, the defense was finding something. They were finding that confidence, and you can kind of see that confidence building in these guys now. After the game, the pressers, everything, they're so about each other. They're always giving each other props. Ernest Jones is probably one of the best post-game interviewers, pressers that I've seen, and just how he's always given love to his teammates. And that's what you saw in 2012 when these guys started kind of believing in the scheme. And I think now these guys are kind of buying in to Macdonald's scheme. And I would say this year they're probably a little bit ahead of where we were in 2012. I think it kind of rolled toward the end.
I've not heard that take.
I think in 2012?
No. I normally always hear, I think because 2012 eventually led to what became the Legion of Boom, that it's always seen as like an era you'll never top. I haven't heard the take yet of I think they're actually ahead of that.
But I think it took over half a season to get there. And toward the end of the season, when our team, we started dominating. I mean, I think we beat the 49ers 56-6 or the Cardinals 50. One of those teams late in the season, it was just rolling. It was dominating. It happened a little later. I would say this defense now might be a little ahead of where the defense was in 2012 at this point.
I like hearing that. Ben calling from Federal Way. Is this Seahawks team better?
I think so, for sure. Just looking at, piggybacking on the whole defensive thing, and I just think you look at the direction of the team after the 3-1 start. Last year, it just seemed after, a 3-1 start, you could tell, okay, this team, our defense looked good at the start, but it was going in the wrong direction. This year, it's like every game, offense is getting better. Like the first dude they called said about our quarterback play. It looks better to me. And that's where I'm like, when you're getting better quarterback play, our defense seems to be on a better trajectory than it was last year. To me, that's clearly a better team right there. And I think we lead the league in turnovers this year as of right now. And so that's where I'm just like, or turnovers for defense. And that's where I'm just like all around. Yeah, just for sure a better team if you look at it like that, and the trajectory of the team right now.
Thanks, Ben. What do you think?
I agree. I think the turnovers are a big thing, and it's good to see that turnovers are kind of contagious. And if I remember, I want to look this up, and I will find this. Last season, I don't think they forced a lot of turnovers early in the year.
No, it was a critique that Mike Macdonald had.
Yeah, they were not taking the ball away. They weren't doing that, and that's just huge this year. This year, it's almost like you're expecting them to get interceptions. Now, they aren't forcing any fumbles. That's one thing. You haven't seen the ball on the ground from the other team, I think, one time. Has there been one fumble?
Recovered by Seattle?
Yes, I think. Was there a strip sack on Aaron Rodgers? I'm not sure. I'm
blanking.
Maybe that was last year.
They're getting interceptions, though.
They're getting interceptions. They're taking the ball away, and that's something you want to see from your defense all the time. And now, when you're doing that, and we talk about how these games become blowouts, then the offense has to start taking advantage of those.
God, how about this stat? I knew that they'd struggled with takeaways, but I forgot about that big gap they had. They had 3 takeaways as a defense in week 1 against the Broncos, just beating up on a rookie Bo Nix. And then they had none for 3 consecutive weeks, 1 against the Giants, and then none again the following week.
Yeah. Went on a drought.
Really struggled there. Okay, is this year's Seahawks team better? I'm actually curious to hear if anyone thinks the offense is better. I feel like we've had a couple callers that will throw in I like Sam Darnold, what the offense is doing, but most of it leaning on the defense. Does anyone think the offense is legitimately better this year than it was last year? I had so many questions about them heading in. 866-979-3776. Rudy's calling from Brooklyn. Is this a better Seahawks team, Rudy?
Yes, I believe it is. And like most people are piggyback on the defense, which is true, but I'm looking towards the offensive line. I think the offensive line makes a big, significant difference because before we were struggling to protect Geno. Geno's running for his life. Sam Darnold has time in the pocket, and once the offensive line is good, then that means there's continuity on the offense, you manage the time clock, and you can do more, which rests the defense more. And that's why I think also with the offense, everybody was talking about DK. Yeah, we lost DK, but we gained the opportunity to split amongst other players. Like we're using the tight end even more. Last year, he was more so of a liability, whereas Arroyo and Warner are getting consistent looks, and they're productive. And I think more so, yes, I have more faith in the offense this year than I did last year.
Thanks for a call, Rudy. What do you think about Rudy's call?
No, I love that. I do. I think I have a lot more confidence, and it all starts up front. That was the big thing. That was the big question mark going into this offseason is what are they going to do up front? How are they going to change? Because last season it was tough. And my main thing all year or all offseason, everything has been the scheme. I think the change in scheme is the most valuable thing for this offensive line. I think these guys, they had the talent. It was just putting themselves in the right spots to succeed.
Can you remind us about how the scheme last year? I can guess where you're going to go.
Yeah, I mean,
what's the big difference?
Grubb was throw the ball 40 times a game, wide splits, win your one-on-one battle. Right. I mean, just kind of putting guys on islands and expecting them to win these matchups.
Go in matchup space.
And you can't do that against everybody. You're gonna lose 1 or 2 of those battles, and when you do that along 5 guys, it's gonna be a lot of sacks that happen just right off the line of scrimmage. So there's a lot more help in this offense. Of scheme for this offensive line, and it's a lot of it's the run game. Stay into the run game. When a defense knows you're gonna pass the ball, it is tough to block because this defense peels their ears back and they are rushing the passer. That's what they're doing. But now teams kind of got to be like, well, they're gonna play action, or are they going to run it? They got to respect a lot more. So you're putting your guys in a lot better situation to succeed.
866-979-3776. Is this team better than last year's team? Both 2024 and 2025 Seahawks started 3-1. Rudy also mentioned, hey, everyone was saying you don't have DK, you're going to fall apart, you're not going to have receivers, you just have JSN. I'm going to be so real with you, Brian. After week 1, I thought, oh my God, it's the JSN show. I'm really nervous about this. Are they going to have to trade for someone? I was getting questions into the show. Bump and I were seeing questions about should they trade for Tyreek Hill. Tell me about this wide receiver group now that we've been through 4 weeks.
Yeah, that was a weird week 1.
I was nervous.
Yeah.
I thought I was such an idiot. This wide receiver group is in trouble.
Yeah, and 13 targets for JSN, 3 for Cooper Kupp, and then the rest down from there.
Yep.
It was I don't know if I've ever seen a dispersion like that. Not that I can remember.
He still accounts for, so leading into this game, I don't know what it's at now. JSN accounted for the second biggest target share for any wide receiver.
And I'm okay with it. I am. As long as other people are getting some targets as well. You have to show you're multidimensional when it comes to the passing game, because one thing that I would criticize about a lot of teams is not using your playmakers enough. Like, if you have guys that can make plays, get them the ball. Get them the ball as many times. You want your playmakers to have the ball as many times as you want. And JSN is that playmaker. So get him the ball, but you can't just force him the ball. There's a difference between getting him the ball in the scheme of things and putting him in a spot to succeed than just forcing it into him no matter what, even if he's not open. I think week 1, I'm not going to say he forced him because he wasn't open. He was open. He had a great game. There just wasn't much doing anywhere else. So it's something to keep watching. But again, we talk about the explosive plays. JSN's exceeded all expectations with explosive plays. Where are they going to get these explosive plays with DK gone? Well, JSN showed that he can step into that role.
Do you think that was the mistake people were making, is assuming that JSN couldn't become one of the best wide receivers in the league? Because I know it sounds like I'm maybe just saying that and I'm playing the role of being a homer, but I'm telling you right now, JSN and Puka Nacua are both leading the league in receiving yards.
And I think a lot of that starts from just JSN kind of playing in the slot last year a little bit, because DK was the outside guy.
Yeah.
And JSN, a lot of bit. Thank you. And JSN wasn't able to get those big time plays, get those big time routes that you'd expect, because they were given to DK, because that's what DK does. And so now with Cooper Kupp here, Cooper Kupp's playing a lot of the slot. JSN's now showing his ability to play the outside, and he's getting a lot more of these shots. And JSN can play the inside too. So they're mixing it up nicely with those two, and JSN just showing that he's really the all-around receiver.
Yeah. So. Tell me what you think about this. 509. I agree, but I want to ask you a question because I think there's another note that I want to make. 509 says quarterback play in the red zone is a huge upgrade, obviously pointing to the turnovers that Geno Smith had in the red zone. Really costly pick 6 against the Rams and what ended up being a tie record at the end of the season. We all know that. I think, though, that part of it, and I'm not taking away from Sam Darnold. I've been so pleasantly surprised by his season. But I think part of it is, like you talked about, the commitment to the run. How many moments through this season so far have we seen them get into the red zone, and maybe it's like a heavier formation, or maybe it's a really physical run. Zach Charbonnet with Charles Cross carrying him over the line. Maybe it's targeting a tight end, but still kind of having 2 out there, or even 3 out there for some of these. I think it's that I go back to that Jets game last year where Ryan Grubb deep in the red zone basically takes 4 shots, and I swear to God, he wasn't like mic'd up or anything, but I swear it looked like Mike Macdonald was going, what are we doing? So I think part of it is improved quarterback play. Part of it is a better identity.
I forgot all about that, because I think in that same game, the Jets game, there was a pass interference that actually reset it. And it was did they get like 6 or 7 shots at it?
It was one of the worst.
And they threw it almost every single time.
They ended up winning the game, so it was like, okay, who cares? But it was bad.
Yeah, it's all about scheme. It's all about play calling when it comes to the red zone. And the Seahawks have done a great job of really showing they're going to run it. And then look at last week, the play action. The play action and hitting JSN right there. That's a red zone play. That's something that is designed perfectly, and teams have to respect your run. That's what it comes down to. If teams don't respect that you're going to run the ball, none of this is going to work. And Kubiak, even though averaging 2-3 yards a carry, has stuck to the run. He's shown that is their identity, and that's where it gets easier in the play in the red zone. When you're constantly running you're running the ball and you're doing play action, the red zone gets tighter, right? There's less space. There's less space for you to work as an offense. Defenses don't have to fear the deep ball. So what do you have to do? Well, you want to suck the defense up even more. how do you do that? Play action. You got to make them respect the run, and that gives you just that little more space to work. And that's where you see some of these little fine windows that Sam Darnold keeps finding open up.
Okay, this is a pretty NFL-heavy hour here. We are going to bring on Mariners broadcaster Gary Hill at 1 p.m., so if you are waiting for the latest Mariners news and updates, and why wouldn't you? Number 2 seed in the American League locked up yesterday entering a final series of the regular season, which feels good to say. That's coming up in about a half hour, but you want to stay tuned, taking a look around the NFL ahead of a really fun Week 4 that we all actually get to watch every single game. That's coming up at 12:45. What caught my eye from this Thursday night win? Coming your way next.
MLB Network insider John Morosi with Wyman and Bob.
We look forward to it each and every week. Look at that smile. He's already smiling.
This is a really good Seattle team that looks like a division winner. They're playing like it, and their closest competition, their flaws are showing up in the worst possible time. So they should win the division. They probably will. The Seattle Mariners right now are the best team in the American League West, and there are plenty of people who think they might be the best team in the entire league.
See the full conversation on the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
Toyota of Kirkland's service department has you covered as the summer winds down and the fall approaches. At Toyota of Kirkland, be confident in your brakes with a complimentary brake inspection. Get winter ready with a free battery health check, wiper blade installation, and multi-point inspection. Thinking of trading in? Get a complimentary vehicle appraisal. Stay ahead with the maintenance service plan at $374 plus tax. And yes, they match coupons from other local Toyota dealers. Visit ToyotaofKirkland.com to schedule your service today. Drive safe, drive smart with Toyota of Kirkland.
O'Brien.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey, want to hear something great? Right now at Wendy's, you can get 2 of the #1 selling bacon cheeseburger in all fast food, the JBC, plus medium fries and a medium soft drink for just $8. Want to hear something else great? Double the burger means double the bacon. Now that's a game changer. 2 of the #1 bacon cheeseburgers with fries and a drink for just $8. Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Request $8 JBC meal deal to obtain discount. Individual items at regular price.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with a Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
This sandwich, it's a complete game changer. Hello, this is Mike, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club is that juicy chicken with that toasty pretzel bun. That bun, it's crispy, cozy, just amazing. With the pretzel bun, the Dijon mustard, and the chicken, it makes that sweet, savory kind of combination. It's everything that you love about food rolled into one. It looks phenomenal. It tastes great. It's delicious.
Order the Pretzel Cheddar Club with Cherry Berry and Sprite for a limited time on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonial.
You say you'd never give in to a meltdown. Never let kids' toys take over the house. And never fill your feed with kid photos. You'd never plan your life around their schedule. Never lick your thumb to clean their face. And you'd never let them leave the house looking like less than their best. You say you'd never put a pacifier in your mouth to clean it. Never let them stay up too late. And never let them run wild through the grocery store.
Peanut on aisle 6 and aisle 3.
So when you say you'd never let them get into a car without you there, no, it can happen. 1 in 4 hot car deaths happen when a kid gets into an unlocked car and can't get out. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
The Bump and Stacy Show is powered in part each day by the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law Personal Injury Lawyers. Go to pendergastlaw.com.
Start having fun.
Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot. Have you tried the dining district at the Bellevue Collection? Grab lunch with friends, meet up for happy hour, and stay for dinner and beyond. You can sample international flavors and local favorites from talented chefs. Try a new cocktail on a rooftop bar or watch the game with friends and explore the lively nightlife scene. The dining district at the Bellevue Collection, where your taste adventure begins. Learn more at BellevueCollection.com/dining district.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Mom, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotion. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. Consequently, they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Dial pound 250 and say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Taking a look around the NFL coming up in 15. Back to the Mariners coming up in 30. Right now it's time for What Caught My Eye Week 4 edition. Brian Walters in for Michael Bumpus. Brian, get us started.
I tell you what caught my eye, Stacy? Well, Seahawks, we're talking about their turnovers. How many they've had? They've had, I think, 7 turnovers in the first 4 games.
Amazing.
How many points do you think they have off those turnovers?
10.
They have 3 points off 7 turnovers so far.
That.
So that is not good. And I know you might say, well, they blocked a punt. They've returned a punt. They've recovered a kickoff in the end zone. They've had... Those aren't turnovers. Those actually don't go. They are not special. They are special teams plays. They are not turnovers. And defense forcing turnovers. One thing you got to now see, the offense has to start taking advantage of those turnovers, have to start punching it in the end zone. They have 1 field goal, and I believe it was against the 49ers after an interception of Brock Purdy. They got a field goal. After that, they've had no points off turnovers. Crazy.
I cannot believe, and obviously we covered these games, but I'm like, wait a minute. Let me do the math here. 44 against the Saints, and that was all special teams setting the offense up. I mean, yes, of course, but like, wow, 3 points off turnovers.
So you want to know a way to put teams away early and blow them out?
Do that.
Score off turnovers.
Oh, that's a really good one. That's shocking. I mean, again, props to them. They're either first or second in interceptions this year. Bengals are also like a top 3-4 team in interceptions. Who would have thought that defense would be doing that? But a really good stat. Good thing to keep in mind to build on.
It's interesting, too. It's something you practice also. You talk about a change of what's, oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm blanking.
Possession?
Change of possession, but you called it something like a change of momentum, a big play, a big changing play.
Yeah.
And you practice that a lot of times.
Yeah.
In practice. You say, okay, here, boom, just got a turnover, offense on the board, what are we going to do? And it's a lot of times a time where an offense will take a shot. You want to kind of keep that momentum going and hit the team while they're down, I guess, because after the big turnover, you have a little momentum, you have a little excitement. But Seahawks just have not been able to do that so far.
How often do teams practice? How often do you remember practicing just like as a team doing a drill where it's like, okay, defense got a turnover, suddenly you're back on the field, go, go, go. Like, is that something you practice?
That's exactly it. We practice it in situationals. You always have a situational time of practice. Really about every day you'll practice a certain situation, and that always comes up, whether it be a Thursday, Friday, and you'll practice the offense running, and then again, that's where you take your shot plays usually. That's where you're doing some kind of trick play. You're doing something fun that can really just for the point of what we've been making. How do the Seahawks put teams away early? It's like that play that can really just kind of put the dagger in them.
My turn for what caught my eye, and most of mine are going to be silly, I'm going to be honest with you, but I just have to be frank. It did catch my eye. Jason Myers walking out with his smelling salts ahead of that game-winning field goal. At first, I thought he was taking, I've obviously never played, I thought he was taking a nose strip off of his nose, and I was like, that's interesting. It's like a breathe right strip, trying to like, just kind of stay awake. Or oh no, nope, smelling salts right there.
Like getting that extra rush as a kicker before you're about to hit a game winner.
I have never smelled smelling salts, and I have no interest in doing so.
I never, by choice, did smelling salts. I used to be sitting in my. It was by accident, always, and it happened multiple times. You just whenever you least expected it. I used to be sitting in my locker pregame, minding my own business, headphones on, kind of getting ready, and all of a sudden, guess who it is? Guess who the guy walking around with the Gatorade bottle?
Russell Wilson. No, I'm just kidding. Absolutely not.
Marshawn Lynch.
Let's go.
You know one of those Gatorade bottles, those squirt bottles?
Mm-hmm.
He had the cap on. And so he would have it loaded with smelling salts, and he would squeeze it, and it would just blow the smelling salt air out. And he would, so if you weren't paying attention, you're sitting there with your head down, he would just squeeze that bottle and just rush right in your, it used to just.
What does it feel like?
It's like a burn in your brain.
A burn in your brain?
Burn in your brain. Yeah, that's.
So just all of a sudden, it's like you're.
Yeah, especially when you do a lot more than probably you wanted. Like one, maybe you crack it, and then you sniff it, and.
Does it make you more alert?
It kind of wakes you up a little bit. Kind of snaps you. I mean, when people are, you see it in movies all the time, right? When people are like
pass out, and then they're like, "Let me open this little vial."
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it has that effect. But when you have a whole bottle squeezed into your face, not recommended.
Someone reminding us, 458 texting you, sudden change.
Sudden change. Thank you, 458. That's what it was, a sudden change.
Speaking of sudden changes.
Been out way too long.
Brian, what you got next?
All right, what do I got next? How about them rivalry uniforms for the Cardinals? I'm not going to lie. I was not impressed. I thought they were a little bit boring and looked a little too much like their actual uniforms.
Fair. I'll say this. I do not like, maybe my mind will change when we actually see them out there against the Rams later in the season. I didn't like the Seahawks rivalry uniforms. I didn't mind Arizona's rivalry uniforms. They do look much the same. I dig the Arizona State flag on the side. I like the speckled thing. It kind of looks like, I think like Nike has versions of that. It's like a speckled kind of looking design.
It was supposed to represent a sandstorm, is what they said. It was supposed to...
Sandstorm? Like the song?
Yeah, no. Well, I mean,
no,
I get
like
the song.
I
think like the desert,
sand in the desert.
Curtis, yeah, the desert, the song, same thing. Yeah. But great song, though. That's something.
I think they look cool. I'm not going to lie. I'm looking at them right now. I love the cream instead of the stark white. The way that they have the helmet with it's the same Arizona Cardinals, like the bird logo, but it just looks cooler. It's like a brush stroke. I dig it, Brian. I'm not gonna lie.
I think if you make a huge announcement about these new uniforms coming out, coming soon, it's got to be big. It's got to be something different. And this was not different. Like the Seahawks is different. I don't know if I like it or not.
Yeah.
We'll see. But at least it's different enough where you're almost excited to see it in action, where it's just completely out of the norm.
Did you see the 49ers rivalry uniforms? Curtis and Bump thought they were pretty clean. I don't know that any of us loved the Seahawks ones. These are the 49ers. They've got like this
black
throwback.
Yeah, it looks good. I like that too.
The 49ers, I'm not going to lie.
It's not their normal look.
Yeah.
It is different than their normal look.
I will give it the Seahawks, I agree with you, are different than their normal look, and the Cardinals was very similar. I'm a sucker for the colors that they chose, like the slightly more muted, neutrally kind of approach.
Yeah. The sandstorm.
I will say most people are siding with you. I was listening to Pardon My Take coming in, and they called it cake batter.
Yeah, there you go. I like that.
I've seen people call it tortilla.
The tortilla uniforms, which great. It just makes me like them more. Fantastic. Next up. I got to give Ernest Jones credit on this one. I wish, again, every single game was in the prime vision kind of bird's eye view. I absolutely love that. But I was obviously watching it with that and randomly chose on that play, like, I'm just going to watch Ernest Jones for this one. And it ended up being the bobbled catch that would have converted for a first down. It's intercepted by Ernest Jones. He runs it back. Great play. And I think when you're just watching it for the first time, or if you were to only, without keeping your eye on Ernest at all, if you were to just watch the play, you'd go, oh, lucky. What a freak kind of interception by Marvin Harrison Jr. But Ernest Jones had amazing situational awareness on that play, was making an absolute beeline, knew exactly what Kyler was doing with the ball. And I I think that, and you already know this as a player, things that look lucky are more often than not, sometimes they're luck, but more often than not, a lucky catch, a lucky pick is also someone being in the right place at the right time and doing everything they can to make a play. And so I just wanted to give credit where it's due for Ernest for another interception and I think a great start to the season.
Well, good things happen when you flock to the ball. When you follow the ball, good things happen. How many times have you seen a tipped ball land just out of reach of a player or something? So when you're constantly giving that extra effort, that extra situational awareness, as you said, to get to where the ball is, you never know when that's going to come out. You never know when your teammate's going to tip it. So putting yourself in the right situation, being that ball hawk, more times than not, nothing's going to come out of it. But that one or two extra times that you get it done, it's going to end up good for your team.
Let's do a very last one. Really, really quick here, but you had one more about Sam Darnold.
All right. Hey, Sam Darnold, faster than most people think. I mean, the way he's moved his legs, the way he's escaped some of these sacks the last few games, extended plays, scrambling out, throwing on the run, the 24-yarder he picked up. He outran a couple guys on that play. He was able to find the angles and get upfield. He was scooting. So Sam Darnold surprising me with his legs.
A look around the NFL ahead of a big week 4 coming up next on your home for the playoff-bound Mariners, Seattle Sports, and the Seattle Sports app.
The legendary Al Michaels, exclusively with Brock and Salk.
Having him on now for a second time, truly amazing.
1995 in the Kingdom, the Yankees were in town. An 18-year-old kid had just been called up, and I interviewed him before the game, and his name was Alex Rodriguez. The memory that, of course, stands out for me in the Kingdom was doing the Bo Jackson run in 1987 when he ran up the tunnel and stopped in Tacoma.
Get the full conversation on the Seattle Sports app.
Imagine homes so well designed and so luxurious, they'll be setting the standard for decades. You're imagining a Mainview home. Now imagine a Mainview home on sale, saving $50,000 to $120,000.
Isn't that what Brett and Amy bought?
Yeah, it's a Mainview, and they saved a bundle.
What are you doing?
Looking at the Mainview website. It's now or never.
What's better than a Mainview home? A Mainview home on sale. Mainview communities across the Puget Sound.
With football season comes colder weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here with Keith Dashafeet from locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. So Keith, what's your next big play?
Well, Steve, right now get 40% off qualifying installs or no payments and no interest for 12 months on approved credit.
Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
Open enrollment for Medicare happens every year, but for a lot of people, it's still confusing. Hi, this is Herb Weisbaum, the Consumer Man. Don't worry, help is on the way with a Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit brought to you by the Insurance Commissioner's Sheba program. Find out what's changing and learn about your options for Medicare with 7 easy steps to get ready for open enrollment. Order your free copy of the Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit at insurance.wa.gov or pick up a copy at your local library or senior center.
It's G. Scott. School's back and it's rally time. Time to rally around the campaign to keep kids healthy. Kids need fruits and veggies to grow strong and stay focused, but for families on tight budgets, that's not easy. Safeway and the Washington State Department of Health have teamed up and need your help. Every dollar you donate at Safeway checkout helps families in need. And with SNAP Produce Match, they get twice as much for the dollar. Next time you're at Safeway, please donate to keep kids healthy.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Maura Dooley here.
It's time to recognize a woman in our sports community with the 2025 Women of Inspiration Award. The nominations are in, and the Seattle chapter of WISE, which stands for Women in Sports and Events, needs your help selecting a winner. Voting is open now until September 26th at woiseattle.org. The winner will receive a generous cash donation from WISE and their partners for the cause of their choice. Help honor a local woman today. Vote by September 26th at woiseattle.org.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first, on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home for you so you attract the right buyers. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's orchard.com.
Morning, Zoe. Got donuts.
Jeff Bridges, why are you still living above our garage?
Well, I dig the mattress, and I want to be in a T-Mobile commercial like you. Teach me, Saldana.
Oh, no, I'm not really prepared. I couldn't possibly. At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 17 Pro on them. It's designed to be the most powerful iPhone yet and has the ultimate pro camera system.
Wow, impressive. Let me try. T-Mobile is the best place to get iPhone 17 Pro because they've got the best network.
Nice, Jeffrey.
You heard them. T-Mobile is the best place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on us with eligible trade-in in any condition.
So, what are we having for lunch?
Dude, my work here is done.
The 24-monthly bill credits on experience beyond for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits ended, balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel. Finance agreement iPhone 17 Pro, 256 gigs, $1,099.99 and new line minimum $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data 1H2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Taking a look around the NFL, and we actually get to watch a lot of these games on Sunday. I mean, I know you guys already do, but no Seahawks game on Sunday means a lot of us are tuned into Red Zone. Everyone with their eyes on Micah Parsons, his return to Dallas. Jerry Jones was asked about facing Micah Parsons for the first time on his Friday radio show with 105.3 The Fan in Dallas.
Micah is special, and we all know he is, and he can be disruptive. But we have huge amounts of experience with the anecdotes that we've seen used on us for the last 4 years. Right. And while he does make great plays, there is also a way to approach playing against Micah, as we know, because we didn't exactly win the Super Bowl during those years. So bottom line is, when I look at playing him, I think of trying to have him as an advantage when we were playing other teams over the last 4 years. And some plays it looks beautiful, but then other plays, especially running plays, you can wish you'd have had a different formation.
That's wild. I just want to make sure I'm understanding. Let's just make sure we heard the same thing here, Brian. What I heard is Jerry Jones implying we know how to beat Micah, and we know how to beat Micah, and you know he can be beaten because we've seen other teams do it, and that's the reason we didn't go to a Super Bowl. Like, that's what I'm kind of hearing.
It was a lot. It was a lot to take in from Jerry there. And
it's
we'll
interesting.
See, and here's where I'm going to go with that. Well,
yeah.
my guess is they'll probably run away from him. Okay. They'll probably double team him. Okay.
Okay.
And they'll probably chip him a lot. Okay.
Right.
That's typically what you do to game-breaking pass rushers.
Yeah.
So I don't know what else you can do to take him out of the game because that's really the only three options.
Disrespectfully to Jerry Jones, actually, Micah Parsons is not the biggest reason you haven't been back to a Super Bowl. And need I remind you, you haven't been back to a Super Bowl, touched a Super Bowl, had much success at all in the playoffs long before you had Micah.
Yeah, having the best pass rusher in the game.
I don't know. The math isn't mathing for me, Brian.
It just doesn't seem like an issue to have. So I don't know. Well,
he's not a perfect player.
Not a perfect player. But this game suddenly is becoming very interesting to me. It just with all the and I think I'm going to be rooting big time for Michael Parsons to be an absolute game disruptor.
I think there are some people, in fact, we saw this comment a lot when we were wondering whether or not the Seahawks should trade for Micah. Some people that are like, oh, I think he's a diva. I think he's got an abrasive personality, difficult, blah, blah, blah. I don't necessarily, there is a personality that comes with him. I think that's real. However, you can also critique what looks like a bad football decision on Dallas's part, or rather, okay, Dallas, you want to move on from him? Fine. Jerry Jones taking weird shots at a player is weird to me.
Here's one thing I will say. You know what makes a really good defensive line? The ability to interchange people, the ability to rotate. What makes the Seahawks defensive ends and stuff. So you have D-Law, you have Boye Mafe, you have Derek Hall, you have Uchenna. You have 4 guys that are capable. Cowboys don't have that rotation. You're asking Micah Parsons to be on the field all the time and be a game changer every single play. No, he's going to get gas. You need that rotation to be able to be at the top. So Gosh, come on, Micah. Get a couple sacks.
Are we going to see a win for the Falcons on Sunday when they take on the Commanders? Some injury updates here. Jaden Daniels has been ruled out again this weekend. Marcus Mariota will get his second straight start. Terry McLaurin will also miss this game. No Jaden, no scary Terry.
Well, if the Commanders can run the ball for over 200 yards like they did last week against the Raiders, I don't think they'll be worried about having Marcus Mariota in there again. And Marcus Mariota, he played fine. He handled it. He 15 for 22 or for 21, 207 yards and a touchdown. I know he got hit and lost a fumble on a scramble he had. He probably want that one back. But again, it's all about the rush game for these Commanders, and they were able to handle the Raiders 41-24. So
our next story here. I am a sucker for gossip. I'll be the first to admit it. I really am. And I'm also a sucker for you wouldn't believe what's happening behind the scenes here. I always follow the stories. Like, what's happening? Well, we got something going on here, according to Diana Rossini. What's going on with the Texans? They're off to an 0-3 start this year. Diana Rossini of The Athletic was asked today. Take a listen.
Is C.J. Stroud any good? What is going on with Houston?
It's a good question. I'm writing about it this week. C.J. Stroud is really good. I think they are still trying to figure themselves out on offense. They have a new play caller. They have a different looking offensive line. I still think they're working some kinks out. So he's still good. I'm not on this. I'm not in the camp of he's ruining his opportunity here to get some mega extension. I still think CJ Stroud can play. I just think there's still a lot of work to be done, and there's some things going on behind the scenes that I think we're going to find out about soon.
How soon, Diana? I want to know.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. I don't think it's going to be some massive scandal, but I want to know what that means. Stuff behind the scenes that we're going to find out here soon.
Huh.
Is it like an offensive coordinator issue? Is it an injury?
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that. Maybe has CJ been playing with an injury for the past year or something, and now that just seems like an excuse to me. I mean, everyone's playing with an injury in this league, so it can't be that. I'm going to rule that one out.
Yeah, very curious to hear where it's going to go. All right, let's talk about a quarterback who some feel isn't getting the respect that he deserves. And surprisingly, someone on another team defending him. After their loss to the Eagles on Sunday, Rams pass rusher Jared Verse says people need to respect the job Jalen Hurts does every single week.
You know, they got dogs across on their skill positions, and Jalen, he's a good quarterback. You know, if you don't respect his throwing ability, I know a lot of people are like, oh, he can't throw, he's only a runner. Like, nah, throw. Like, he's a quarterback in the National Football League for a reason. Like, I don't know why people would be saying that. But, that's just on us. We lost that game ourselves, like I said.
I love how many bleeps. You can fill them in yourself. Do you think Jalen deserves more respect?
I think he does. I mean, he's passing for over 70%. His completion percentage is over 70% right now, and that's what you're asking of him. When you're a run-first team, you have Saquon Barkley, you have a playmaker like that, yes, he's going to get the majority of the touches. He's going to get it. But when you're asked, your name's called, and you're asked to do just the little things, kind of like what Seahawks are asked to do with Sam Darnold, or asking of Sam Darnold. I mean, you got to get it done, and he has gotten it done every time. I think he is a very underrated quarterback, the way he can do things with his feet, and when he's asked to throw, he can do it. He can deliver all the throws. So Eagles are kind of the example around the NFL that every team's trying to follow.
I will say this, and I agree with you. I think Jalen deserves more respect, and I think often mobile quarterbacks almost lose points for not passing. Yeah. And instead of just not being prolific passers, people see them as they don't know how. With the exception of guys who obviously pass for a ton, like Lamar Jackson, I think is first or second in touchdowns. But quarterbacks who have thrown for fewer passing yards per game than Jalen this year. J.J. McCarthy, not currently playing. Tyrod Taylor just started as a backup. Justin Fields has missed time with concussion. Joe Burrow not playing. Those are the only 4 quarterbacks throwing for fewer passing yards per game than Jalen. That's absolutely a factor that people are talking about here. But the difference is these guys either are hurt or not good. The Philadelphia Eagles have a completely different approach.
The Philadelphia Eagles are 3-0. So they haven't they haven't needed him.
They don't
to
need
throw
him
it all.
to
They've
throw.
been playing with the leads. They're giving it to their workhorse and Saquon, so they haven't needed it. So why use it if you don't need it? So they're doing everything they need to do. 3-0 is all you can ask for, and Jalen Hurts is getting the job done.
You know what surprised me a little bit? How much Mac Jones has been throwing it around.
That's right.
I thought that they'd really, really lean into the run there. Just anytime a team goes with a backup quarterback, I assume just standard simplified approach. Like, they're obviously going to run it more.
Sometimes you
Mac's
just need
been
a
tossing
change
it.
of scenery.
Yeah.
There's Mac Jones, change of scenery, get to a new team, and just a reset button.
Back to the Mariners. Gary Hill joins us next on your home for the playoff-bound Mariners, Seattle Sports, and the Seattle Sports app.
MLB Network insider John Morosi with Wyman and Bob.
We look forward to it each and every week. Look at that smile. He's already smiling.
This is a really good Seattle team that looks like a division winner. They're playing like it, and their closest competition, their flaws are showing up in the worst possible time. So they should win the division. They probably will. The Seattle Mariners right now are the best team in the American League West, and there are plenty of people who think they might be the best team in the entire league.
See the full conversation on the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
Upgrade your home's comfort, style, and energy efficiency before winter during Lake Washington Windows Autumn Savings Event. Save $500 on every window, $1,000 on every door, plus enjoy 0 payments and 0 interest for 12 months. Details at lakewashingtonwindows.com.
The insurance world, it can be confusing. So have First Mark Insurance guide you through it by taking the free First Mark Challenge. They'll explore offerings from top carriers for better coverage and lower rates. They save the Heward family thousands. Go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
Hey man, gaining weight, dragging throughout the day, losing your drive? It could be your testosterone. The team at Revive Men's Health Washington gets men back on track with the energy and drive they've been missing. Meet Tyler, Revive Men's Health Director of Operations and witness to hundreds of success stories.
I've seen guys come in worn out, discouraged, and just not themselves. A few months into treatment, they're standing taller, speaking with more confidence. It's like watching someone come back to life, like a light switch gets turned back on. The spouse says, "Thank you. I really have my partner back, better than before." That's the moment it all clicks for me, and that's why I do what I do.
Since 2011, Revive Men's Health has helped more than 120,000 men regain their energy and drive. Start your story today with an in-clinic visit or a secure video appointment. Call 206-529-1111 now to book your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation. That's 206-529-1111 or schedule anytime at revivemenshealth.com.
Luxury has arrived at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. It's Mike Salk here. You can book now for an unforgettable experience. Let's talk about Hawks Peak. It is the place to be for game days this football season. With over 66 TVs, indoor-outdoor concept, the deck is covered and it's heated as well. And the food, oh man, it was excellent. All with breathtaking views of the Cascades and the Snoqualmie Valley. Yep, you can go to snocasino.com. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
The ballpark is rocking like 2001. Let us clear up your allergies so you can enjoy more of each game. Hey, it's Dr. Ryan Stern of the Stern Sinus Center. Let us fix your ear, nose, and throat problems. Let's make your congestion, sinusitis, snoring, and allergies a non-issue. We can diagnose and treat everything from allergy testing and treatments to modern nasal breathing procedures to advanced balloon sinuplasty. Come and see us in Federal Way in Auburn or at sternsinus.com. That's sternsinus.com.
September is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. I'm joined by Tim Hunter, who underwent treatment in February. Tim, what's it like to go through the CyberKnife treatment?
Well, you go in, you do a 5-day-in-a-row stint. You go to the Swedish hospital, and it's they say set aside 45 minutes for each treatment. It's really only about 35 minutes of that little robotic arm dancing around you. There's no pain involved. It was just too easy.
Treat prostate cancer with Swedish CyberKnife. Go to swedish.org/cyberknifeprostate.
Progressive knows we all crave validation.
Girl, you are not 37.
I would have guessed 27.
You guys are too sweet.
Sure. Dewy skin. Terrific.
Is something wrong, Ned?
Why would you ask? Just because today marks my 10th anniversary without a car accident or even a speeding ticket? But somehow, tonight's all about your skincare.
Wow. With Snapshot from Progressive, you can get a personalized rate based on how you drive. And that's all the validation you need. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hi, it's me, Flo, here to tell you that with the Progressive Home and Auto Bundle, you get 24/7 protection, so you're covered no matter where the day takes you.
Even bad hair day?
Yep.
And tree branch fell on my car day?
Especially that day. Progressive has you covered 24/7 for your home and auto.
How about thought it was chicken, but it was tuna day? Or overnight construction outside my bedroom day?
Those days too.
Great, because that was each day this week.
Been there. Well, at least your home and auto are covered every day with Progressive.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Chiefs got good injury news. Wide receiver Xavier Worthy is set to return to the team this Sunday in a big matchup against the Baltimore Ravens. The Mariners also got good news. They've clinched the number 2 seed in the American League and get a bye week, and they did it before the game even started thanks to a loss by the Guardians. They've got 3 more to play in the regular season in front of a sold-out crowd. The Dodgers are coming to town. You can catch the game on Seattle Sports.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now.
Joining us now on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline, it's Mariners broadcaster Gary Hill. And Gary, this has been the most exhilarating week. We were reading a stat earlier from OptaStats that the Mariners and Seahawks are combined 20-2 over the past 20 days. Mariners doing a lot of lifting there with 17 wins in 20 days, which is unbelievable. Before we get started with our actual baseball questions, and we have a lot when it comes to Cal, the roster, how you manage it in 3 games where you don't really need to win, I wanted to ask just as a broadcast crew, this is almost like a new telling of a story for you guys. What's this been like for you guys?
It's been amazing. It's been incredible. We've enjoyed the ride just like everyone else has. It's been so fun every night, and it's been kind of the duel. You have, of course, the Mariners making this ridiculous run, and you have Cal Raleigh making history every single day as well, and something I think we'll never see again, especially with a catcher doing what he's doing. So with both of these things happening at the same time, and I feel like the moments met together on the same night where the Mariners clinch the West, and they haven't done it in so long, and Cal hits 2 home runs. It's just all indescribable. It's been incredible, though. It's been so fun. And, I think back, it's funny, you think back at where the Mariners were just 20 days ago. September 5th, the Mariners were 3.5 back of the Astros in the division. They were a half game up on Texas. They were 1 game up on the Royals for the last wild card spot. And then you fast forward 20 days later, and the Mariners are the only ones in the American League that are completely settled. They have the division. Everyone else, everything is up in the air. It is amazing what's happened in just the past 20 days.
Man, it's been such a fun ride. I mean, the last time we've seen that, I was 13 years old the last time the Mariners had a run like this.
Yeah.
Not to age myself or anything, but I'm just glad the younger generation gets to see something like this happening.
Sixth grade.
And during this run that they've had, a guy that has been a staple for them has been Josh Naylor. And I saw a stat where since 2021, he has the most go-ahead hits that came in the 8th inning or later since then. What have you seen from him, and how has he kind of fueled this run?
Oh, he's been such a great fit in every way possible. I think you can make the case he's been the best deadline acquisition in baseball. I mean, he's been that critical to the Mariners. I think he does so many things for them. One is I think he balances out the lineup perfectly. Batting fourth against righties, with his skill set, with all the power they have surrounding him, he's just perfect for the middle of the lineup. And the Mariners have a chance to basically go lefty-righty during the entire lineup. It's just very balanced. And he's been a really good hitter. You know, he's batting near 300 as a Mariner. There's been a lot of pop there as well. He's stolen a ton of bags, which is pretty unexpected. He's got some grit to him too, which I think has been fun during this stretch. But I don't think you can say enough about how much he has added to this lineup and the difference he has made. He has been unbelievable for the Mariners so far. And I know he's already become a fan favorite. I know he has loved his time in Seattle so far. So I'm excited to see what he does in the playoffs. He's a guy that's been there before. So this will not be new to him. And he feels like a guy that can rise to the occasion.
Every single baseball podcast that I listened to, I was scrolling through it the last 2 days, the same topic, every single one. I mean, they're talking about like a crazy race in the AL and like the Mets and Tigers having weird collapses. Sure, those are topics, but you already know. It's about the AL MVP debate. To me, it's a really fun debate. Genuinely a fascinating baseball discussion, and I hate that it's sometimes cheapened by trying to take away from what Cal's done, or even to take away, frankly, from what Judge has done and say, oh, it's in a, little league park. Like, that's also not true. That being said, I think that even then, and maybe I'm biased, there is a huge portion of fans that are overlooking what being a catcher means and what Cal is doing. And I think they think of it as like, oh, sure, because we haven't seen it, so that's cool. And it's like, no. You don't know what it means to be a catcher. It doesn't start and end from the first to ninth inning. Like, that's not – it's not just defensive stats you're looking at here.
Yeah, I agree with that. And also I agree with your take because I hate the takedown aspect of some of these debates because – honestly, in any other season, both of them would be the unanimous MVP having this kind of season. Like if Cal was doing this and Judge wasn't around, Cal would be no doubt.
Yep.
And same with Judge. Like if Cal wasn't having this season, Judge would be unanimous. Honestly, they both deserve it. They're both having tremendous seasons. I will not say a bad word about Judge because he's having, he's a Hall of Fame hitter having another great year. But for me, that's where it falls. It's the catcher aspect of this because this isn't just, at least the award is defined differently by different people and different voters. But for me, it's more than just a who is the best offensive player award. If it was just that, Judge has the best slash line, Judge would win. But most valuable to me, I look at it as the whole picture. And there's so much to Cal Raleigh, as you point out, that goes beyond the home runs, which is amazing in its own. But the fact he's doing it as a catcher is incredible because you think about his baseball day, most of the time of that day is not his. He spends all his time, most of his time, dealing with a pitching staff, dealing with meeting with starters, dealing with making sure you are locked in on every single batter on the other team in terms of scouting reports. It's all that stuff. It's also the body work that goes into that position. It's not an accident that he can catch as much as he does. He's closing in on 700 plate appearances. There's only one catcher in baseball history that has caught at least 75% of their games and has climbed over 700 plate appearances in a season, and that's Johnny Bench. And Cal's going to do that this year. He's just a few away. Wow. And so It takes a lot of work to get ready day in and day out. It's the physical nature of that position, and it's the mental nature of that position. We're talking to Justin Hollander. I thought he brought up such a great point, because we talk about baseball as such a mental game all the time, mostly in terms of offense, on the ups and downs and everything you go through. But you think about it from Cal's perspective, and the fact that he has to wear those moments on that side as well.
Yep.
You know, when he calls a pitch and it gets taken deep, right? I mean, he's got to wear that. He's got so many things going on at one time, not to mention he's a switch hitter on the offensive side. So I find the whole thing incredible. And the fact that he's kept this pace going throughout the course of the season is remarkable. And we may have seen him put the home run record for catchers to bed forever. Like, it's hard to imagine another catcher ever reaching 60.
So on that note of Cal, the wear and tear and how many games he's played and all that, I want to go to a topic of rest. And in football, we haven't seen this position since 2001 for the Mariners, and so I don't really know how it works in baseball, because football, you go and you clinch the playoff run, you clinch the first round bye, you're resting everybody. No one's playing. You're just kind of going into the playoffs, making sure everyone's healthy. How does baseball, it being such a skilled sport, and you don't want guys to lose that edge, lose that, that especially the momentum they have going, how do they kind of balance the rest between players but keeping them sharp, getting ready for that first round bye?
It's really tricky. It's not easy, because baseball is an everyday game and you get accustomed to playing every day. And I think that it's especially difficult for the hitters. There's some cases, like if a guy's dealing with some sort of injury, it's perfect. Have him sit for a few days and then he's good. But it can be a challenge. And I think I expect the Mariners the next 3 days to just kind of play this out. And we'll see a lot of the guys take their plate appearances and they'll play, and we'll see them against the Dodgers. But then there's going to be several days off. And so it's that balance of trying to stay sharp before the postseason starts. And it's not cut and dry. And teams try different ways to do it, different approaches. And so I'm curious to see what the Mariners do in those days leading up to the postseason. That being said, I am one that, to me, this isn't even a debate. Like, you want the bye. I don't think there's any question about it. I understand where people are coming from with, you just keep playing and you stay in rhythm. But tell that to the team that's going to lose in the first round of the postseason and they're at home. Like, they would have much rather had the bye, right? You're not going to lose in the first round if you don't play in the first round. So I think it's very cut and dried about this. I would much rather deal with, okay, you're trying to figure out how to keep guys in rhythm. It also sets up your pitchers. It gives your bullpen guys a rest. I think it really sets you up long-term for the rest of the postseason. But that is the trickiest part, especially with the hitters, is trying to keep that rhythm, because outside of the All-Star break, this never happens. You never get more than 2 days off in a row. So it's very different territory.
How about defensively? Do you think Dan Wilson's having conversations with some of these guys, like in the outfield, like Robles? Hey, don't go jumping into the nets these next few games. Like, you don't need to lay out for some of these defensive plays, I guess, necessarily. Don't put yourself in harm's way. Is that a conversation at all?
I don't think it's a conversation. I think some of that is instinct too, and you can't help yourself when you're a competitor and you're going after balls. But I would like to think they would keep those sorts of things in mind, because if you ask me what's the most important thing in this Dodgers series, it's staying healthy and avoiding situations like that. So if I were an outfielder and I was full speed headed towards, the side wall, I'd pull up a little bit in that scenario and just, because there is so much on the line in just a few days, right? And so not diving into the netting, I think, would be a good thing.
We wanted to talk about potential starters. Did I read right that Wu would be a game 2 guy? So you go Gilbert, Wu, and then you're looking at a decision with your third. What's going on there? What do you think they might do?
Yeah, that's a good question. Kirby's looked great. Castillo's obviously looked great as well. And it feels like, with the Wu question put to the side, it feels like the rest of the rotation is peaking at the right time. I mean, this is really worked out, and given just how tumultuous it's been in the rotation so far this year, and the ups and downs and the injuries. But Gilbert and Kirby are probably at their best right now, which is great. And Castillo's probably at his best right now. So I think the decision may play on matchups as well. And of course, the Mariners won't know exactly who they get until, I mean, we don't even know who the two teams will be playing yet to choose from. So I think there's a lot there, but they're in a position where I don't think you can go wrong right now with either Kirby or Castillo with the way they're both throwing. And maybe it depends on, where the game's at, who your opponent is, but I think you feel pretty good about your entire rotation at this point.
How about this upcoming playoff roster? We all know it has to shrink down some players. What kind of moves do you think the Mariners make in that regard?
I am always interested in what teams do at the back end of their roster. Most of the roster is obvious who's going to make the team, but there's always, a couple spots at the end. Like, do they want a guy on the roster who's just going to swipe bags? Like, that's the only job in case you need somebody late in the game to steal a base. Is there going to be someone like that on the roster? If you're facing a team that's full of lefties, do you add another lefty reliever that may not be on the roster right now? I find those to be pretty interesting because I think most of the decisions roster-wise for the Mariners are pretty straightforward. I don't think there'll be a lot of surprises when the roster's all said and done.
Quick one here before we let you go. You were joking about kind of like, we don't quite know who they're even going to play because obviously things are still getting figured out all over the place. We don't know who the 1 seed is going to be. We don't know if the Red Sox are going to make it. We don't know what's going on with the Tigers and the Guardians. That being said, I see so many questions about whether or not the Mariners can get the 1 seed. I know there's also like when the Yankees come into play, they've got the tiebreaker. So that being said, I see so many questions about whether they can get the 1 seed and whether or not it's almost better to stay as a 2 seed. Would you mind answering both?
Well, I will give my opinion on both, and then people can make up their own minds. Because honestly, I mean, it's the kind of thing everyone has different thoughts on how this all plays. But I'll break it down like this: they're in great shape no matter what. They still have a chance for the 1 seed. They could get there. They don't have the tiebreaker over Toronto or New York. So the math is kind of working against them in that regard. So it feels unlikely they would get the 1 seed. But it would shift the bracket for them. Right now, the 2 seed would basically give you the winner of Detroit or Cleveland. The 1 seed would give you some sort of combination of the winner of Boston or Toronto or Boston or New York. So you can answer the question yourself. Who'd you rather see in the second round? Would you rather see the winner of Cleveland or Detroit, or would you rather see the winner of the Yankees or the Blue Jays or Yankees or Red Sox, however it falls, right? So I kind of like the matchups with Detroit or Cleveland better. People may have different thoughts. I also think – I am not scared of any team in the American League. We've talked about this all year. I think the American League is wide open, but I look at a matchup like the Yankees, who are a really good team. I feel like you're better off in a longer series against the Yankees because you can expose them a little bit more. And that's the toughest part about a 5-game series, or a 3-game series for that matter. In baseball, it's just so short, and literally anything can happen in a 5-game series. But that's kind of how I'm thinking about the 2 seed and the 1 seed. I don't mind if the Mariners stay at the number 2, given how things are right now.
Yeah, I think so. Tarek Skubal kind of just fell apart in a recent outing, and we know that Seattle beat him up a bit, but obviously is amazing. And Curtis pointed out fairly the other day when I was saying, I'd rather have Detroit. They've blown a 15.5-game lead, or Cleveland, who you have the tiebreaker against, and they looked out of the playoffs, and kindly reminded me, Tarek Skubal's amazing. Like, Detroit still has 6 All-Stars on their roster.
And I'm one that believes the Mariner fans. Mariner fans probably won't want to hear this, but I believe that once the playoff starts, nothing that led up to the postseason matters.
Yeah.
Like, if you've lost 15 in a row, if you're on the other side of it, the Mariners, if you're just rolling into the postseason, I think once you take the mound in that first game with, 48,000 people cheering, and maybe you're facing Skubal, like Cleveland, for as well as they're playing, if they play Detroit in the first round and they're staring at Skubal right away in game 1, like, nothing they've done in the past month is going to matter in that moment. Like everything starts fresh, everything starts new. So I kind of look at those matchups with fresh eyes. And when I think about Cleveland, I know we're getting ahead of ourselves a little, but when I'm thinking about Cleveland and Detroit, Skubal that's the deciding factor for me. He's scary because he's great. And potentially you could face him a couple of times. Now, I think what Mariner fans should be cheering for is for teams to be using as many resources down the stretch and in the first round of the postseason. Like you want all of this to go down to the wire. You want teams to use as much pitching as possible. You want extra innings.
Bullpen arms.
Yeah, man. You just want it all. You want total chaos. And I was thinking about the Blue Jays. You want them to try and play for the division on the very last game because they'll have to throw Gausman. And then if they throw Gausman, they've already started the clock on their number ones, right? And that's how I kind of think about it. Well, the Mariners have their rotation set. They're just waiting. And I think that really benefits the Mariners if those guys can get taxed before the Mariners even see them in the division round or the American League Championship Series if they get that far.
He is Mariners broadcaster Gary Hill. Gary, we kept you late today, but it's so hard not to ask you so many questions about this team. They're on an amazing run, and you guys are doing amazing work covering this run. It's honestly, it's not only fun to watch the Mariners, but it's fun knowing that you guys get to bring us this stuff and cover what's been, I think, one of the funnest stories in baseball, whether it's Cal, whether it's this run all year long. So we look forward to more of it. Thanks, Gary.
Thanks, Gary.
Thank you for that. I really appreciate it. And I'm especially happy for our fans because this has been incredible. The building has been amazing, and I can't wait for a big run.
Thanks, Gary. He's Mariners broadcaster Gary Hill, kind enough to join us on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Let's pit 4 down territory to the side. I have a question for you, Brian. Gary was mentioning what I thought was a great point, and it's one that Curtis made earlier. Dumb Curtis, knowing so much about baseball.
There I go again.
There he goes again. It's encyclopedia over here. I was, again, I'll reiterate, was saying, I'd rather face Detroit. I'd rather face Cleveland. Hang on to the 2 seed, and in all likelihood you will. However, just because you swept Detroit doesn't mean the Tigers aren't a great team and that they don't have a Cy Young and the Cy Young winner this year in all likelihood. Just because you have a tiebreaker over the Guardians doesn't mean Jose Ramirez isn't raking right now. And Gary said, once you get to the playoffs, suddenly those things don't matter. And I saw you nodding, and I wanted to ask about the experience there, whether as a sports fan or being an athlete, of just like those things, whether it's a tiebreaker, whether it's what you saw from this person last time, does it just not mean as much once you get there?
Means absolutely nothing. I mean, I guess it's probably nice to go in with a little momentum going, as the Tiger, confidence. Sure. I guess the Tigers, they're not going in if they make it. Is there a chance they don't make it, or what do they have to do?
Houston would have to pass them, but it doesn't look like Houston's going to.
It's looking very much like we aren't sure yet who's going to win the Central, but that both of them will beat each other in the wild card.
Yeah, Houston's a game back of Cleveland and Detroit, but I believe they do not hold the tiebreaker.
No, I think the whole story is going to be, oh my God, I can't believe Cleveland won it, but then they're just going to face each other again.
Exactly. So it doesn't, just more so for the home field. But here's where I would say it goes both ways here. If you're the Tigers and you're slumping so much, you make the playoffs, it's almost a fresh reset. It's just a way that you can say, all right, it doesn't really matter what just happened. Now we're playing baseball. It's 0. We're 0-0 right now, and we're starting over. We have just as much of a chance to win this thing as that person, as that team, as that team, as that team. And then if you're going in as hot as the Mariners are going, and you've got that second round or that first round bye, you're thinking, that doesn't matter. That team that we're about to play, who just wins the first round, gets a little bit more playoff experience, I'd say, is coming in and trying to beat us. They don't care what we did in this regular season. It doesn't matter. So what Gary said is absolutely true. It doesn't matter what happens. And when you get to the playoffs, it doesn't matter what any team did. It doesn't matter any seasons, nothing. You have to perform in that moment, in the biggest moment, in the biggest stages of professional sports.
Is that something you have to kind of learn being in the playoffs, or is that something that just as a professional athlete who knows that you've fought through so many close games against opponents that on paper you should have beaten, is that something you just know?
It is. There's two ways to look at it. It's one, I always like Pete Carroll's approach because it was just another game. Yeah. He didn't treat it differently. Whether we were going to the NFC Championship game, whether we were going to the Super Bowl, whether we were going into Week 4, it was the same exact approach. There was no extra emphasis on it. We did the same exact week leading into it. We did the same game planning. Our routine stayed the same. And I like that approach because it doesn't put a little extra pressure on you. Now, I know the Mariners baseball, it's going to be different because the stadium's going to be rocking. You're not used to that during the regular season. I feel like in football, you're used to that during the regular season. There's big games, your Monday night game, your Sunday night, your prime time, even a regular season game, the stadium is always rocking.
That's what I'm worried about. I'm worried that it's going to feel different and then they're going to press.
This is why I think this Dodgers series is so important. And it's nice that there's nothing on the line, but you're going to get the fans. I mean, this has been sold out for weeks and weeks, and it's going to be high energy, and it's going to be that playoff baseball taste. And I think that's going to be experience. It's going to be very valuable for this M's team.
I feel better. Let's see what's on tonight.
What's on tonight with Bump and Stacy, brought to you by Caesars Sportsbook at Muckleshoot. Now, here's what's on tonight.
Speaking of a big series to finish out the regular season, Cal Raleigh goes for home run number 61 tonight in Game 1 against the Dodgers. Pregame starts at 5:30 p.m., first pitch at 6:40 p.m. on Seattle Sports. 4 Down Territory coming your way next.
ESPN senior MLB insider Jeff Passett with Brock and Salk.
How complete is this Mariner team right now?
You know, we have a story coming out on ESPN.com. I think it's tomorrow. First question, what's the boldest prediction you've heard from an MLB executive or scout? Passing. The Seattle Mariners are going to win the World Series. If you just objectively look at what the Mariners are doing right now, they've had the best offense in Major League Baseball in the month of September.
Get more on the Seattle Sports YouTube page and the Seattle Sports app.
Start having fun. Caesars Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot.
Let's go. You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they help me. They calm me down. They make me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
After 35 years in the window industry, I know choosing the right team for your window or door project is a big decision. Adrian here, owner of Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Treating your home with care while offering top quality products is important to me. Our windows are 25% more energy efficient than Energy Star standards, reduce noise by up to 50%, and feature low maintenance clean glass technology. Combined with our leading leak armor installation and lifetime warranty, you get protection for life. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com, a name you can trust.
It's G. Scott. School's back and it's rally time. Time to rally around the campaign to keep kids healthy. Kids need fruits and veggies to grow strong and stay focused, but for families on tight budgets, That's not easy. Safeway and the Washington State Department of Health have teamed up and need your help. Every dollar you donate at Safeway checkout helps families in need. And with SNAP Produce Match, they get twice as much for the dollar. Next time you're at Safeway, please donate to keep kids healthy.
Luxury has arrived at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. It's Mike Salk here. You can book now for an unforgettable experience. Let's talk about Hawks Peak. It is the place to be for game days this football season. With over 66 TVs, indoor-outdoor concept, the deck is covered and it's heated as well. And the food, oh man, it was excellent. All with breathtaking views of the Cascades and the Snoqualmie Valley. Yep, you can go to snocasino.com. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here with Shannon O'Kelly, President and CEO of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy, inviting you to come work with IRG. And Shannon, what kind of staff are you looking for at IRG?
Brock, we're looking for all kinds of clinical staff, physical therapists, occupational therapists, athletic trainers, certified occupational therapy technicians, physical therapy assistants, you name it on the clinical side. We are looking for those folks. But we are really looking for folks that want to come to an organization that want to be part of our culture and change the culture and work with us to provide the best care and service we can to our patients, our team, and our community. So those clinical people out there, we're looking for you. We also provide advanced certification. We want to provide you mentorship. We want you to grow personally and professionally here at IRG.
And with over 40 clinics throughout the Pacific Northwest, you've got the opportunity to work in the city you want. Just head over to irgpt.com/careers. That's irgpt.com/careers.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed a musty smell in your home? I hope not, because damp smells mean that you could have a crawl space problem. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to waterproof your crawl space and get to the root cause of the problem. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
This is 4 Down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
Brian Walters in for Michael Bumpus today. Brian, first down, what's a wild stat you saw yesterday?
You pointed this out to me, Stacy, and I'm thankful for this. This is pretty amazing, honestly. We've talked about it a little bit, but the Mariners were 17-1 in the last 20 days, actually.
That's crazy.
And the Seahawks 3-1 over that span as well, are combined 20-2 over the span of 20 days. So for a Seattle, I'm just going to read it. It's the first time ever an MLB team and an NFL team from the same metro area combined to win 20-plus games in 20 days, with each team contributing multiple wins.
Post the first week of September, like after week 1 and after early September for the Mariners, this has been a blast.
Yes.
Both of these teams just absolutely crushing. And even though the Mariners are carrying the bulk of those wins with 17, important to note, those 3 wins for the Seahawks came over, 11 days?
Yeah.
Or 2 of them over 11. I don't know. Like, it's also very impressive that those 3 wins span 2 Sundays, and then also a quick turnaround for Thursday night on the road.
And also shout out to the Mariners for winning 17 of those games.
Yeah. I really respect being able to be like, well, we brought 3. 17's pretty good. Pretty solid. Absolutely incredible run.
No other city has ever seen winning like this in 20 days.
It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy when the Huskies beat Ohio State.
Yes.
And wow, just continuing to add. Curtis and Matt, I don't know why you don't have more confidence that the Dogs are going to get this done, but joke's on you when the number 1 team's being pushed out of town. Second down. I'm hearing some doubt back there. Your mic's on. Second down, a big 32-yard completion to Elijah Arroyo made you think of why the Seahawks drafted Nick Imanwari. Tell us a bit more.
Well, on this 32-yard completion, you'll see Elijah Arroyo lined up against Josh Sweat, an outside linebacker, defensive end for the Cardinals, and to me, that's a mismatch. That's why you drafted a guy like Elijah Arroyo, so he can outrun these guys, get open, and Sam Darnold can do exactly what he did, throw the ball up and let his pass catcher make a catch over a guy who's probably not used to covering a guy like that, and that's the matchup problem. Well, you draft Nick Imanwari for this exact reason, to face opposing offenses, and that is so you don't have that mismatch. You don't have that matchup issue. You have a guy, a safety, a big body safety, who can line up with a tight end, can run step for step with a tight end and handle him, but also step into that box, stop the run, be that big bruiser up there. So he's like a hybrid linebacker safety who can cover these athletic tight ends. And when you're in the NFC West, you have to do that a lot. You have George Kittle to go against. You have Trey McBride to go against. You have guys like that present those problems to NFL defenses. And so here, I mean, it's kind of a perfect example of where Nick Emmanwori can come in and really help the Seahawks defense when he gets healthy.
Third down. JSN didn't get a target until the third quarter, but the Seahawks offense was still rolling in the first half. So who stepped up in his place?
Almost alluded to it in the last on second down, but that's the tight ends. The tight ends really stepped up. 0 targets for JSN, which is crazy to me. But when your name was called upon, he threw it to the tight ends. A.J. Barner, a big touchdown. Elijah Arroyo, explosive plays. And those guys have constantly made plays when they've been called upon. I have to give a shout out to our pre-post-game Seahawks host with me, our co-host, Paul Moyer. He called it before the game. He said, hey, we need a big day from the tight ends. Tight ends are going to have a big day. They're going to step up, and that's exactly what happened. And they did it. They carried the brunt of the weight for the first half, and when JSN came back and started getting his target skin, then JSN was able to take the ball from there. But shout out to the tight ends, A.J. Barner, Elijah Arroyo, making the big plays.
When JSN decided to do his job. I'm just kidding, JSN.
Well, he couldn't do his job with no targets.
No, exactly. No, and what was really cool also is I feel like it's not that I didn't believe in JSN, but I've shifted my perception of how explosive I thought he could be. In fact, I know that we were talking about it earlier, but you were just blown away by like him showing up and being so reliable and making these clutch plays.
And he's done it time in and time out. Already 3 out of 4 weeks, he's made a clutch play on the final drive to help either seal a game or get into position to go ahead and win the game. And he did that last year, too. He had a couple big plays, one-handed catches, anything toward the end of the game. So he's continued to be that reliable receiver. And the best thing, he's an all-around receiver. Right? I think people don't give him the credit because of DK last year. DK was the guy that was going to stretch the defense, but JSN has shown now he can stretch the defense, but he can also pick apart a zone. He can also play in the slot and get you that first down. He can run after catch. You saw him get a couple running plays this last week, so he can do it all. He's showing why he was that first-round draft pick.
I have a question from a texter regarding tight ends before I move to fourth down. They said, imagine if they had Jimmy Graham right now. Would this offense make better use of Graham than the 2015 version did?
I don't think Sam Darnold is saying, hey, I'm going to give less targets to the tight ends because of who we have in the tight end room. I just think it's where the ball's taken him, where his reads have taken him. So, no, I don't think Jimmy Graham would. I mean, maybe he'd get a few more targets. Maybe a few.
I think Jimmy Graham would get a couple more.
A few, but not.
Walking with a $10 million contract
yeah,
in 2015
exactly.
At the time, that was great.
They'd probably use him in different ways, but it wouldn't be out of control. I think this offense, the beauty about this offense is it doesn't matter who's going to be the hero that week. You're just going to give it to whatever the defense is giving you. That's how Sam Darnold's going to distribute the ball.
I do wonder, alternate universe, even in 2015, had Jimmy Graham just been used slightly differently or with a different type of quarter. I don't know.
Maybe you just said it right there. Different. Maybe a different type of quarterback.
Fourth down.
Yeah.
Mike Macdonald and a couple players kept mentioning something about Jason Myers after this one. Brian, what was it?
Yeah, this was fun because Coach Macdonald mentioned it, Sam Darnold mentioned it, and it talks about Jason Myers' golf game. And you talk about how when they play golf with Jason and he hits it into the trees, he hits a bad shot, let's say, something. And how does he respond? How do you get back? How do you make that next shot count? Because that's the one that counts. And how do you forget about the bad shot you had? So they related his kicking to his golf game. And it's exactly what happened on Thursday night yesterday. Jason, he missed his first kick, the one that could seal the game, but then he's given another chance. And in golf, we call that a mulligan. So Jason Myers essentially was given a mulligan yesterday, another chance to put the game away, to win the game, and he came through, he did it. So to me, everyone kind of speaking of how how Jason has kind of used his approach on the golf course, taking it to kicking. That's just a mindset that kickers have. You have to have a short-term memory. You're going to miss kicks. That's going to happen. Has any kicker ever been absolutely 100% perfect in a season? I don't think so. So it's going to happen, but it's how you respond. You can't let these missed kicks just kind of keep snowballing, the snowball effect where it just gets worse and worse. So you have to forget about it, clear your mind, and focus on the next one ahead.
What was the toughest play you had to push out of your mind, or thing you had to push out of your mind where then you did something and you were like, I've learned from that. I've learned that compartmentalizing is something I can do.
It was a preseason game, and I was rolling. It was actually my first season. I was rolling as a punt returner, and I had a punt. I was wide. No one around me. There was like 30 yards around me, and I was so excited. I was like, all right, it's easy. And I kind of slack a little bit and just bounced off my chest. Then it hit off the ground and bounced up to me, and I got it and just went down. But it was in that moment I was like, all right, don't take anything for granted. You got to focus every single play like it's your last play you're out there, and don't make it try to be too easy. Like, you got to put 100% in everything, and that's when I after that, punt returning, when that ball's in the air, 100% focus at all times, because the second you lose focus, it doesn't go well for you.
Do you think that something that a lot of players might struggle with is like every player drafted, even undrafted free agents, all of them were like the best players wherever they were. You're the best player in high school, you're the best player in college, or one of the best players on your team. Like, you're certainly good enough to play in the league. You're on practice squad, you are good enough to play in the NFL. For a lot of guys, is part of the adjustment just going, oh, I'm not the best anymore? Like, wow, that used to be easier for me. I know Bump would talk about, like, he could always outrun a linebacker, and then you get to the league and you're like, oh, wow.
Yes, everyone's just
this
elevated.
isn't a mismatch anymore.
Yeah, I think that is a big change for a lot of guys coming in, is just not being that guy anymore and staying ready. It's easy to check out when you're that guy, when you're not getting the ball thrown to you 9-10 times a game like you're used to, and you have to take advantage of that 1 or 2 targets that you might get, or the 1-2 plays you're in there blocking for a run. You got to get that at all. It's tough to stay checked in sometimes.
We want to send one of you and 3 friends to watch the Seahawks 50th season celebration game on October 5th. All you need to do is open the Seattle Sports app and click on the Win tab to find out how. If you don't already have the app, text the word app to 866-979-3776, and we'll send you a link to download. Enter daily to increase your chances to win. This contest runs through Monday, September 29th. It's a Football Friday powered by the Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Brian Walters in for Michael Bumpus, and we need your questions. What I need to know coming your way next, 866-979-3776.
He's already passed the likes of Bench, Mantle, and of course, Junior.
Holy smokes, where is this going to land? Upper deck, right field.
Look out, babe.
Here comes Cal Raleigh.
Countdown, 3, 2, 1.
Swing and a drive, deep to right field. There it is, number 60, the modern-day Bambino.
This is where you hear every...
Gone! Cal Raleigh!
The home of your American League West champion Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Everyone wants to get the best deal they can when they buy a car, but what about when you want to sell your car? Of course, you want to get the most money possible, but how can you get the most you can without trying to sell it yourself? Well, that's where my friends at Wayscar Ford in Auburn step in. Not only will they buy your car today, but that's just the beginning. Once they resell your old car, they send you another check for 50% of the profit of the sale of your old car. Seriously, they've already given back over $800,000 to customers. It's such a great offer, and I know exactly what you're thinking. Okay, but how are they able to do it? It's not a consignment. You get paid for your car right away. Wayscar Ford pays you right up front. They buy your car for fair market value. No more insurance, no more maintenance, no more storage. They pay you half the profit when they resell your car. Get the most money possible for your old car at Wayscar Ford Isuzu in Auburn, and let them do the work. WayscarFord.com.
Hi, it's me, Flo, here to tell you that with the Progressive Home and Auto Bundle, you get 24/7 protection, so you're covered no matter where the day takes you.
Even I added too much water to the pizza dough day?
Yep.
How about getting a call from my daughter to pick her up at the airport because her boyfriend is unreliable day?
Especially that day.
What about finding out that one of my pipes suddenly burst in my basement day?
Progressive has every day covered 24/7 with the Home and Auto Bundle. Also, you have a lot of bad days.
Oh no, that was all the same day.
At least you're covered with Progressive.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey, want to hear something great? Right now at Wendy's, you can get 2 of the #1 selling bacon cheeseburger in all fast food, the JBC, plus medium fries and a medium soft drink for just $8. Want to hear something else great? Double the burger means double the bacon. Now that's a game changer. 2 of the #1 bacon cheeseburgers with fries and a drink for just $8. Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Request $8 JBC meal deal to obtain discount. Individual items at regular price.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-486-9600. That's 800-486-9600.
Stacy Rost here. It's time to recognize a woman in our sports community with the 2025 Women of Inspiration Award. The nominations are in, and the Seattle chapter of WISE, which stands for Women in Sports and Events, needs your help selecting a winner. Voting is open now until September 26th at woiseattle.org. The winner will receive a generous cash donation from WISE and their partners for the cause of their choice. Help honor a local woman today. Vote by September 26th at woiseattle.org.
2026 Mariners season ticket memberships are on sale now. Catch Cal, Julio, and the crew at T-Mobile Park with year-round savings, no ticket fees, and more. You've got 2 great options. Reserved memberships let you lock in the best locations in the ballpark, whether you want to catch 20 games or the whole season. Or go with a flex membership and choose your seats, games, and number of tickets as you go.
There it goes! Storybook season by Cal Raleigh.
Come on board today at mariners.com/26.
Luxury has arrived at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. It's Mike Salk here. You can book now for an unforgettable experience. Let's talk about Hawks Peak. It is the place to be for game days this football season. With over 66 TVs, indoor-outdoor concept, the deck is covered and it's heated as well. And the food, oh man, it was excellent. All with breathtaking views of the Cascades and the Snoqualmie Valley. Yep, you can go to snocasino.com. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
After I came home from Iraq, I could still hear the booms. Makes it hard to be a good mom.
As America's veterans face challenges, DAV is there.
I'm Naomi Mathis, Air Force veteran.
DAV helps veterans get the benefits they've earned.
Thanks to DAV, I was able to begin to heal.
With the right support, more veterans can reach victories, great and small.
My victory is being able to be here for my children.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different.
Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. BABBEL.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Get your questions in for What I Need to Know. 866-979-3776. What I Need to Know, excluding golf, Brian. If you had to pick a game that would keep you entertained for the rest of your life, what would you pick and why?
Excluding golf?
Yeah.
Oh, my
I would say the
goodness.
same thing for Bump. Neither of you are allowed to choose it.
If I had to pick one game to keep me entertained for the rest of my life, basketball.
Okay.
I could play basketball. Maybe not every day.
I could play The Sims on a desktop computer.
We're talking video games.
For hours. Not even like video games, just I remember like child me playing Sims and Sims 2.
Yep.
I could play it for 9 hours.
Yeah.
The sun would go up and come down.
Time goes so fast playing games like that.
Well,
you don't even
yeah.
realize.
And when you're a
where time
kid,
goes.
so
When
you're
a
like,
kid,
I
yeah.
don't have a job. I don't have taxes. What I need to know, what's a common superpower that you'd hate having or think is overrated?
How about reading minds?
I would hate.
I would hate being able to read someone's mind.
Yes. I
knowing what everyone's thinking at every time, every point. It'd make me too insecure, I think.
Yeah, I don't think it helps you somehow get some kind of advantage knowing how to, convince people of things. I think you would just find out all the worst things people think about you, and that would be awful. Mine would be, that one for sure would be number one. Number two, I would say flying without the power of being invisible, because think about it. If you're just flying, so what, you're just going to fly in front of people? Like you're going to, no, they're going to.
never have to drive anywhere.
I would love to fly.
Yeah,
no, but
you would
no.
never.
I would love everyone to see
telling
me flying.
No. People, they're going to trap you because you're going to be like a freak. They're going to trap you and figure out how you're flying, or they're going to shoot you down with a drone or something.
No.
They're going to think that you're a UFO flying
like,
in.
How fast can we fly?
Let's pretend not so fast that people can't see you,
like a
because that's the
slow
whole
fly
point.
where you just
I'm just
kinda
saying, like an eagle, you're soaring, but like people can see you. They can see you. Don't you? I don't
They
like.
go, oh, there's Stacy flying to work again.
I don't like the idea of everyone looking at me all the time. That's a lie.
That's a lie. You do radio.
I think flying.
We're on the stream right now.
Stop. No,
Flying would have such an advantage that I think I would.
Oh yeah, you wouldn't have to drive anywhere
care,
ever again.
ever.
You wouldn't have to get on an airplane.
I just feel like that would be your whole personality. Because everyone can see you. It's, oh, there's Fly Boy.
You know how good
flying
I would
around.
be at football to fly?
Yeah, but not at basketball. Travel.
Do you have to dribble if you're in the air?
Dribble. That'd be a long dribble.
Yeah.
Do you have to dribble if you're in the air?
You
or
have
is it
to
considered
dribble
a
if you're
jump?
moving down the court.
No,
Yeah,
but
I think
if you're
it's
in the
a-
air,
I think
why?
it's
It's
a
a jump.
step.
You can jump through the air as long as you want.
Is there a basketball rule technically that would prohibit you from jumping from one side of the court to the other?
I mean,
to
in
dunk the
Space
ball?
Jam, Michael Jordan
Yeah.
did it.
Giannis routinely gathers at the 3-point line
Yeah,
and
no.
dunks.
What I need to know is, are Derek Young and Jake Bobo making a case for them to get more offensive snaps and targets?
You would, in last year's offense, I would say yes, because you need more receivers. This year, no, because you don't really need the 4 wide receiver sets, and you have JSN, you have Cooper Kupp. Torrey Horton's been unbelievable, and that's really where you draw the line there with the wideouts, because those are the guys you want. You want the ball in your playmaker's hands, so give them the ball. And then the good thing is you do have depth. So if one of those guys has to go down and has to take you have to miss out a game, you got 2 guys that can fill in seamlessly.
I'm getting back to flying here. It's more important.
Yeah.
Someone said, but what about bugs and birds? You guys are giving flying way too much credit, and I refuse to end the show until I convince you otherwise. Flying is not a cool power. I mean, it's cool in theory because no one else can do it, but you're flying, birds are running into you. You got bird strikes going on.
You ever seen those
Bugs
eagles
are flying
flying
in
and
your
like a
mouth.
crow is picking on it? Could you imagine
That's
you're up
gonna
there
be you.
flying to work and there's just crows picking on you?
That's the thing. You think it's going to be cool? Wouldn't you rather just drive in a nice car, listen to a podcast?
Sit in
now you're
traffic.
flying and birds are chasing you down?
You wear goggles.
Yeah.
You keep your mouth closed while you're flying.
You guys have
Yeah.
convinced yourself that
I'm flying.
the most overrated superpower is cool.
I'm flying.
It's not overrated.
Not overrated.
Okay. I'm the odd one out here. I got
It's
3 people shaking their heads
underrated.
at me. What happened to the Seahawks tush push, says another listener, the barnyard. 4th and short in the middle of the game and on the goal line from the 1, and they didn't use it?
Are we going barnyard? Is that
What was the other one?
Is that what we're going with this?
Listener texted in barnyard, which I thought was
Grunge
funny.
plunge.
Grunge plunge.
Yeah.
But then if they do it with a tight end that isn't Barner, it
I
doesn't
know.
make
That's
sense.
where I'm worried about it, but I don't know why you wouldn't do it without him. I mean, he seems to be
Do we just
it's
call it
worked
the
every
tush
time.
push? It's impressive.
It's worked every time. I don't know why you don't do that there. That's actually a great question. I never even thought about it. It's not in the scheme for me yet to just think, all right, 4th and 1, barnyard.
Yeah,
let's go.
so
It's
not used to it.
I'm not used to that at all. So I don't know. That's a good question, and yeah, I don't know. It's
that
worked every time.
Underrated new addition with this offense. It's just like, that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
It's like week 1 when they did it the first time too? I texted Bump and was like, have we seen this before?
They did it once and it worked flawlessly, and then the next time they did it, it was like, oh no, it got stopped, and then Charbonnet came in and just pushed him and got the first down barely. But 2 for 2, I think that's what they ran it.
360 says, way to continue with terrible takes, Stacy. Look, you guys are all getting pecked by crows and shot down by government drones and studied in labs because you're out here flying in front of everyone.
What happens with topics like this in this segment, Brian, is that on Monday, Stacy will come up to Bump and Matt and I and be like, I thought about it a lot over the weekend, and I can see your point.
That's not true. When's the last time I did that?
She won't ever give us credit on air for it, but she absolutely will come up to us.
It's not true.
The following day and be like, okay, I see what you guys were saying.
What I need to know, next question. Shut up. What I need to know. The bye week for the Mariners is critical. What's the protocol? Drive to the stadium, take light batting practice, sit and relax? What do they do? Curtis, you were hearing something.
It sounds like, I think I heard Shannon say it on either the pregame show or on an interview on the station that they're going to maybe do a sim game or two. So a scrimmage, keep it light, just to, keep
Sim
yourself
game.
active. You don't want to have 5 days completely off.
Someone said if you play basketball and you fly, you can camp out over the basket.
Cherry picking.
Nothing stopping you
Yeah,
from doing
it's true,
that.
though.
Unstoppable. Flying. Unstoppable.
Can you get
superpower.
called for 3 in the key, though, if you park over the basket like that?
Why wouldn't you?
Because you're in the air. You're jumping.
It's true, yeah.
Oh my God. The whole all 3 of you in the whole text line are like, you're insane. I think you guys aren't thinking pragmatically about the everyday
We're
implications
thinking
of
very pragmatic.
flying.
It would make life so much easier to be able to fly.
Okay. Who do you think will be the Seahawks' number 2 receiver for yards by the end of the season?
And I still will go Cooper Kupp. I think Cooper Kupp will be there. I think just like we saw week 2 where Cooper Kupp had the 9, I think he's going to throw some games like that in there, scattered around, especially when teams start, and not that they haven't started already, but start to really try to take JSN out of the game. I think that'll be a big thing. JSN's starting to get that big name for himself now. Teams are recognizing him, being that number 1 guy.
Yeah.
So Cooper Kupp's going to be the guy who is going to get a lot more targets going forward.
253. Are you worried the Mariners are too hot going into the playoffs?
No such thing.
There's no such thing as too hot.
Impossible to say.
Impossible. You can never be too hot. Y'all ever seen?
It's better than being too cold.
Yeah.
I know
Much
that's
rather
right.
be too hot.
I know that's right.
I mean, all that happens when a team's this hot is you go, well, eventually they're going to lose. And it's like, okay, they've clinched a 2 seed and you can afford a loss in the playoffs. Just don't keep losing. No, I don't think so. Yeah. It builds confidence, gets you hype. Never be too hot.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you to Brian Walters. Are you on pre and post the following Sunday?
Oh, yeah.
Every single. Okay. On pre and post for, God, we got to wait a while here for Seahawks taking on Tampa Bay on October 5th. Obviously, with Michael Bumpus and the rest of the crew, you can hear more from Brian. I completely forgot it's Friday. Thanks, everyone, for listening all week long. Wyman and Bob coming your way next.
MLB Network insider John Morosi with Wyman and Bob.
We look forward to it each and every week. Look at that smile. He's already smiling.
This is a really good Seattle team that looks like a division winner. They're playing like it, and their closest competition, their flaws are showing up in the worst possible time. So they should win the division. They probably will. The Seattle Mariners right now are the best team in the American League West, and there are plenty of people who think they might be the best team in the entire league.
See the full conversation on the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
At Lake Washington Windows and Doors, we offer premium windows that are 25% more energy efficient, reduce noise by 50%, and come with clean glass technology. And Leak Armor Installation gives you a lifetime warranty to protect your home. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit MuckleshootCasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot. The ballpark is rocking like 2001. Let us clear up your allergies so you can enjoy more of each game. Hey, it's Dr. Ryan Stern of the Stern Sinus Center. Let us fix your ear, nose, and throat problems. Let's make your congestion, sinusitis, snoring, and allergies a non-issue. We can diagnose and treat everything from allergy testing and treatments to modern nasal breathing procedures to advanced balloon sinuplasty. Come and see us in Federal Way and Auburn or at sternsinus.com. That's sternsinus.com.
Hey, it's Brock Hewitt here, and you got to take the First Mark Insurance Challenge. It could save you a lot of money and get your family better coverage. First Mark has saved my family thousands of dollars every year. Take the First Mark Challenge. It's totally free. Just simply go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want to boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
Bonneville International radio station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contests are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on seattlesports.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
Hey, want to hear something great? Right now at Wendy's, you can get 2 of the #1 selling bacon cheeseburger in all fast food, the JBC, plus medium fries and a medium soft drink for just $8. Want to hear something else great? Double the burger means double the bacon. Now that's a game changer. 2 of the #1 bacon cheeseburgers with fries and a drink for just $8. Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Request $8 JBC meal deal to obtain discount. Individual items at regular price.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-275-1728. That's 800-275-1728.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want to boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy.